From the creators of Relevant Magazine, it's the Relevant Podcast.
It's the week of Friday, May 1st, 2015, and this is the Relevant Podcast. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and this week's show is brought to you by Stamps.com. A lot of small businesses get stuck doing things the old way, just out of habit. I mean, we're all guilty of that, including vital operations like mailing and shipping that can be so time-consuming. If you're still making trips to the post office, you need Stamps.com. With Stamps.com, you can do all your mailing and shipping right from your desk and never go to the post office again. You can print postage for any letter or package using your own computer and printer. Then you just hand it to your mail carrier or drop it in the mailbox. Stamps.com is convenient and easy to use, and it will save you money. You'll get special postage discounts you can't even get at the post office. Here at Relevant, we use Stamps.com, and you use Stamps.com.
Yeah, and I don't even hand it to my mail carrier because he's such a mean guy.
Yeah, terrible guy.
Yeah, this is really helpful.
We love it. Other than the mean mail carriers, we love Stamps.com.
I thought it was time to call out the mail carrier nationally.
Do you tip him
No, I
at
don't
Christmas?
tip him. I don't even talk to him. He's the worst.
Eddie doesn't give service people Christmas gifts. I think we've established
That
this.
is true.
I love our mail person. He's so nice. He's like at the door every day. He's great.
See, that's great. Our mail person won't even acknowledge my children.
Wait, at your door, so they have to come up and walk through the snow to your door?
Well, we get a lot of packages. So he'll put like regular mail in the mailbox, but if anything comes, from the Postal Service, like I would say 3 times a week, he does have to get out and come to us, and he's super nice about it. Yeah.
Oh,
Here's why our mail carrier is a jerk, because he will do everything he can to see if one of those packages can fit in the mailbox. And so, it shouldn't go in the mailbox, but I had the Warby Parker home try-on thing come, and he just jammed it in there, and it was so hard to get out. He's just the worst.
And he kicks your daughters as if he sees them playing in the yard.
He's the worst guy.
Our mailbox is on the front porch, right by the door. Mail is delivered by hand in my neighborhood. They just park the truck and walk from house to house.
Oh, that's nice.
And I usually have the shades or something open, and it startles me every time.
Right.
Oh man, there's someone right outside the door.
Right. And he's got mail.
But it's not a slot. It doesn't go into your house.
No, that would be cool.
Those are great.
A friend of mine has one of those, and you'll be at her house for lunch, and all of a sudden you'll hear and you're like, what's happening? And it's every little piece of mail hitting the ground. It feels so old fashioned.
If I was a mailman, that would be the highlight of my day. I would be frisbeeing. I would be I wonder how far I can get this letter deep into that. I want them to find this letter in the kitchen.
All the way into the front hallway.
I want the homeowner to be was the mailman in the house, because this is 3 rooms back. I'm putting spin on it so it curves around the hall. I would study the layout of the house from the outside and fold it into paper airplanes with the right amount of English on it.
English. I know we got to get back to Stamps.com, but have any of you started getting mail on Sunday?
Yeah, from Amazon.
Yeah, it's super weird.
Amazon
packages on Sunday.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
I'm like a dude in a beige Suburban.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Right.
I wasn't expecting anyone, and I don't know that person. And he's not driving a UPS truck. It's just some random dude handing me stuff.
He's a freelance deliverer.
How big do they have to get to do packages on Sunday, though? That's nuts.
They bailed out the U.S. Postal Service. That was the deal. Amazon struck a deal with the USPS that kind of saved the USPS, and the deal was we went 7 days of delivery.
But the best thing is, even though the post office is closed on Sunday, I can still send packages.
Stamps.com.
All the way back.
Look at that.
Nailed it.
Right now, use our promo code RELEVANT for a special offer, a no-risk trial plus a $110 bonus offer, which includes a digital scale and up to $55 of free postage. Don't wait. Go to Stamps.com. Before you do anything else, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage and type in RELEVANT. That's Stamps.com. Enter RELEVANT. Well, like I said, I'm Cameron. Here with me in our Orlando studio, Eddie Big Cat Koffolds.
Nice to see you, man.
Over there on the interim ones and twos, John David Snavely.
Greetings.
On the Skype line from Loverland, Virginia, with English on it, that's Jesse Carey.
Hello.
And from Chicago, Illinois, author and speaker, Shauna Niequist.
Good morning.
So this is an important episode of the podcast because this has been a big week in the world and national news and international news. Obviously, the crisis of that's happening in Nepal made the headlines. And we, coming up later on the show, have Scott Harrison and Christoph Gorder from Charity Water joining us to talk about Nepal. They've been working there for years, and they are doing some unprecedented stuff now in the emergency relief. So they're joining us later.
Now, let me just ask what we're thinking real quick. And I don't mean to change the tone of things.
It's fine.
Now, Scott is coming on to talk about the crisis.
Yeah.
Is it insensitive to ask him a single question about the Nickelback thing, or do we just need to keep it on?
I think that would be best to
Feel out in the moment?
Yeah, maybe, or
Okay.
just avoid completely.
Because I
Or
really,
just, it's a conversation for another day.
I really
or
wanna-
maybe that we should just let that die forever.
maybe we just start with that, though, so that it doesn't seem insensitive, because I do want to know what he thought about it.
Well, I can tell you privately what he thought about it because he called me. But for those,
Let's just say, knowing what he thinks about it, why don't we just keep it to Nepal?
Yeah, let's go Nepal, and then, yeah, right, great.
so yeah, I mean, Jesse raised almost $40,000 for Charity Water doing the Nickelback stunt.
Anyhow, probably back to more important pressing things.
Yeah,
I just-
like Nepal.
I just wanted to ask, but I didn't want to ask in front of him. That's like asking if your friend can spend the night like in front of your mom. Like you gotta wait. I wanted to see before he was on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I loved doing that. I always did that. Yeah, that was like my special trick with my parents.
Yeah. Right. Because they don't want to look like jerks in front of
Totally.
So they're like, oh, sure.
She's holding her sleeping bag,
Right.
and her stuffed animal, but
Right.
totally cool if that's a no. It's totally fine.
Right. That's what I just did.
It's Mom, Dad. It's fine. We can tell her they're not welcome in our home.
Totally. We can tell her it's because you don't like her and her family and just the way she is as a person, but whatever. It's totally fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's tell her right now to her face. She's right here. You're not welcome here.
You're not welcome in our home.
Obviously, the crisis in Baltimore and all the things going on there. A big week in Relevant World. The new issue releases this week.
People started getting it.
Hillsong United's on the cover, and we have a segment coming up later on the show where we kind of go behind the scenes on the issue. Tyler's joining us, talk about the new issue. But probably, and not to be insensitive to the other crises, but probably the biggest thing that we need to talk about this week is what happened on Wednesday morning. Nick Walinda walked on the Orlando Eye.
Yeah, it was big.
Ferris wheel.
Yeah, it was
and it was
exciting.
the most disappointing thing I've ever seen.
I didn't even see it. You know why?
Why?
I've had the flu for 48 hours.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why I didn't see it. That's why I didn't go. I've just been. So
true.
tell me about
Yeah,
it.
well, no, I didn't go either. People have been
But you
texting
watched
us
it on
and
the
tweeting
thing?
us
Yeah.
and saying like, "Oh, this is a big deal! Like, you guys flew to Chicago to see Nick Walinda do the High Wire Act. Or, I mean, he's right in your backyard. Surely you guys are going to go."
Who's got time for that?
And I checked the news last night. They weren't letting people come. They weren't allowed. They were like shutting it down. Please don't come. We don't want an audience here. They didn't want to have
Why?
to deal with it. I don't know. It was just a stunt for the Today Show, I guess. And so they didn't want to have to deal with crowds. And so they were just basically discouraging people. They shut down the parking garage. They didn't want people to come.
So
I feel like that's sort of a mismatch, right? Like, I'm going to do this thing and the whole point of it is that people watch me do it. That's like what it is, but definitely do not come.
Well-
Do you feel like the Nick Walinda moment is over unless he has? Do you feel like in order for him to like walking on high stuff is no longer going to bring the crowds? Like he has to do the Red Bull jump from space thing at this point.
I think the only thing left for him is to jump a motorcycle across Niagara Falls.
yeah.
Yeah.
So funny, right, Jesse? Just watching
But no.
that.
Here's the thing about Nick Walinda. He reminded me about his immense ego
Yeah.
in the moment. So again, news outlets saying don't go. There's no parking. There's no crowd control.
Right.
This is not for you.
This is a Today Show stunt.
He gets out on the live television. I guess nobody told him what we were told as locals. And he gets out and he says on the mic, he goes, well, his first thing, he's looking around. Well, he's on the top of this 400-foot tall Ferris wheel. Well, I guess we got to commend the mayor of Orlando because everybody here has a job because they sure aren't here.
What a jerk.
What a jerk.
well, I feel like look,
That's really unkind.
he is the undisputed LeBron James of walking on really high stuff.
Yeah, but that's saying
Agree
that,
or not? Agree or not?
Well,
Yeah.
kind of, but that's
Okay,
also like
okay.
comparing it. Wait. Before you get to your point, though, that's like as if LeBron James was the only player in the NBA.
Oh.
Then he would be, of course, he's the LeBron James of the NBA. He's the only one.
Well, first, congrats, you got the joke. Second,
Sorry. Sorry.
Secondly, who can blame the guy? I mean, it's not every day you see someone take their life in their hands for really no good reason.
Right.
I mean, like
For the
there's-
Today
like,
Show.
If someone say, "Why are you up there?" He'll give you like some real ambiguous stuff about inspiring humanity and giving himself and others chills. But there's no reason to be up
Giving
there.
himself
Plus,
and others.
I gotta say, like, I'm a Today Show fan, but it's not number one anymore. Like, I would
Are
do
you an
this.
hour 3 guy with Hoda and Kathy Lee though?
No, but I mean, like, but that's exactly what I'm
He's
saying.
deep
I'm
in the
like,
wine by
I think
then.
you got to be a GMA. I think it's a GMA thing.
Oh, Today Show forever. I know they're not number one anymore, but I'm definitely Today over GMA.
I think they've lost. I think they've lost their edge. I
I
don't
did
know.
recently read a couple books about it. Do you know that secretly I would love to be a morning show host? I think it'd be the most fun in the world.
You would be perfect.
yeah.
You would be so perfect.
But you would have to get up really early every day.
I have children. I get up early every day.
You
Yeah,
would
but you have
be.
to get up at like
Yeah,
3
but-
a.m.
Else would put makeup on my face and buy me fancy clothes, and I just sit there and chat with people. That's like a dream scenario.
And you get a driver. Literally, all you have to do, and
I know.
the driver brings coffee. Matt gets coffee and a paper from his driver every morning.
I love Matt. I absolutely love him.
I do. I like him too.
I think he's kind of insufferable, but we're
Oh.
gonna have to agree to
Kind of like
disagree.
Nick Walinda, which is why it's a perfect match
Yeah.
for the Today Show. And they both need to,
Yeah.
get attention right now.
Al
the
Roker-
Today Show and
I think I'd like Al. Al seems like a nice fella.
I
Doesn't
would
he?
like Carson and Matt, Savannah and Natalie. They
Yeah.
seem like very genuine, friendly people.
I
I
who are you
really loved
talking
Ann
about?
Curry, though. That was a real blow
Oh,
for me.
get
I loved
real,
Ann,
Shauna.
and that whole thing was a mess.
They made the right move. I was not a Curry
Okay,
fan.
listen.
Really?
Listen, I don't know if we're going to have to edit this out, but I literally used the term Ann Curry crazy just to define a specific kind of crazy.
I didn't
Really?
think she was crazy. I just felt
Oh,
like
yeah.
she lacked a little personality.
Oh, no, I think she's totally a lunatic.
What kind of lunatic?
Ann Curry crazy. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It's
sure.
full circle. I can only describe it as Ann Curry crazy. I don't know what it is.
She's the LeBron James of crazy.
She is the only one doing it. That's the joke.
But I'm going to try and do something because I don't really know what you're talking about. I'm going to try and do something just so that you call me Ann Curry crazy. I'm going to do like a lot of different crazy, and you let me know which one is Ann Curry crazy.
Here's what I want you to do. Sit down with Angelina Jolie and just start using that voice, that kind of deep interview voice, and ask
Yeah.
super open-ended, weird questions. I don't know. That's Ann Curry crazy. I don't know what it is.
So Nick Walinda, it was a huge letdown.
Forgettable name.
Here's the deal. I mean, like he walks out, and he's on the beam, and he's disappointed with the crowd. So he's kind of got like an attitude,
Yeah.
And the thing, and then they're like, okay, it's going, and so he's just kind of walking, strolling on this beam, and it's very slowly moving, and he's chatting with the hosts, whatever, kind of bored, and again annoyed that nobody's watching him. And then they go down to his dad, on the ground watching the monitor, and they go, "Did it stop?" And oh yeah, I guess it stopped. And he crawled back into a pod, and that was that. It was like a minute
Yeah.
long. It didn't even go all the way around. And it was like it didn't even. I was like, "What was this?"
Man,
So-
Well, thankfully there were no crowds because he would have likely got booed.
I wonder if it gave him chills. Did he mention chills or?
No, he didn't mention chills. I think he was just upset that nobody cared. Honestly.
Nobody cared. Nobody
That's
watched.
what I'm saying. He's got to figure out a way to. I mean, maybe incorporate like juggling or something to kind of take it up a notch at this point.
Well, I think
Like,
he tried to take it
he's
up a notch. He didn't have the bar, the balancing bar. He was just walking on a beam. Then when the camera went up close to him, it's 400 feet in the air. I'm not diminishing that, but the beam itself is a large steel frame. I mean, this thing is like half
He's
the
walking.
size of a sidewalk.
Right,
half
he's
the width of
walking on.
Yeah.
He's doing what we all did as kids, like as we'd walk down by the sidewalk and like hop up on the little ledge.
on the curb.
Right.
Yeah. Imagine if the curb was twice as wide.
Right.
That's what he was walking on slowly
Yeah.
while chit chatting with his friends.
Imagine if the curve was twice as wide and you had a gigantic ego. That's exactly what it would be like.
That's what it was.
Right.
Like I said, I think if he could incorporate some magic tricks or something into it,
I think
it would really heighten the experience for spectators.
Magic trick.
I think wind. I think that's why the Chicago one was interesting because of the wind factor. I like the idea that you get up there and you have real elements to deal with. So I feel like going across the Grand Canyon would be cool. I don't know. I'm over it.
He did the Grand Canyon.
Oh.
He did Niagara Falls. He did
we're-
did skyscrapers.
He's done.
Now he went to a moving object, with there's nothing left except motorcycles in Niagara Falls. That's what it is.
A wire slung between two helicopters. How cool would that be?
That would be kind of cool. Yeah.
That would be terrifying.
Over Niagara Falls.
My brother is
Over a shark's.
becoming a helicopter pilot,
Cool.
And he says it's the hardest thing he's ever done.
No kidding.
Yeah. And he's like he does all that kind of stuff. Like
You're-
a boat captain, he's got pilot's license, all that kind of stuff. And he's really good at that stuff.
Wow.
And the helicopter, he's like, I can't even describe to you how difficult it is.
He posted on Instagram last night. He's like, he had a full, like the thing got out of control, full rotation and all the way to the ground. And he was thankful to walk away.
Yeah. I'm sure my mom was thrilled about that. Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
like,
Jonah,
hashtag praise the Lord, hashtag I'm thankful that I'm alive, sort of a thing. Yeah.
Jonah, I can't relate directly to your brother's experience in undertaking such a risky venture, but I will say this. At a White Elephant Exchange this past Christmas, I got one of those mall
Oh my
remote
gosh.
control
I
helicopters.
want one of those so bad.
It is impossible
You-
to fly. Like, I mean, I'm airborne for maybe 15 seconds before I clip like a
Yeah.
curtain or something. I can't imagine flying an actual helicopter.
We have, there was one Christmas where Aaron got lots of those. And I remember so distinctly, I was serving brunch for his family. And all he wanted to do while I was cooking was land it on my head.
Oh, yeah.
Like nothing has made me crazier than
Like Ann
than
Curry
landing
crazy.
a little helicopter on my head
That's-
over and over while I'm cooking.
Cameron's right. That's close to Ann Curry crazy, but now conduct an interview. Be that way, but host the Today Show.
With Aaron trying to land a helicopter on your head.
I gotta
It's
just
a
say,
dark moment.
I gotta say, I'm sure she's a nice lady. I don't want to get pushed back on this. I'm sure she's lovely. I've already done it, haven't I? Who
Yeah.
cares?
Yeah.
Keep going.
You have. I love her though, for the record.
Eddie, your offensive streak has continued to yet another episode.
Yeah, we had a real good week last week, didn't we? Whatever. I'm not talking about that lady.
So Eddie is the one person on our team who checks the Twitter feed and responds to people and
I decided at the beginning, how am I going to interact? I'm not going to do the website page. I'm just, what am I going to check consistently to try to be a good friend? And I checked Twitter.
Yeah, and somebody said, I'm listening to the podcast right now, and in light of what's happening in Baltimore, I think Eddie's insensitive racial emoji usage is offensive.
Yeah.
And Eddie took her to task.
No, I responded. You
said
one response, and I don't remember what it was.
It was a drop the mic response though. Like, you're crazy. You're Ann Curry crazy.
No, I didn't call her crazy. It was basically there were like 3 drafts. The first 2 were not good because I don't want to.
3 drafts?
Well, but like a version
Usually
of it.
you and I text the drafts back
I know.
and forth before
No,
you post them.
Shauna has been helpful because there's been a few times that I've been like, "Hey, can I say this?" She's like, "That's actually publicly shaming. So why don't you try this?" And I'm like, "Okay, how about this?" She's like, "That's actually hurtful. So why don't you try this?"
Eddie, to be fair, the only part of her criticism I felt like was out of line is when she said that in light of Baltimore was offensive. It was just plain offensive, pure emoji use.
Oh, I actually think the part that bothered me the most, and this is why I'm just a terrible person, was when she said it wasn't funny. I'm like, oh no, it was funny. Don't tell me what's not funny.
You're like, you could say a lot of things about me.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Yeah, it could be downright.
You can call me racially insensitive all day long, but not funny? Well, that just hurt. That just hurt. But anyhow, I thought it was...
That's uncalled for.
Yeah, I think it was just taken a little too seriously.
Have you guys read the John Ronson book, So You've Been Publicly Shamed?
No.
Yeah, I read a couple of interviews. I listened to some interviews with them.
I read the Mark Ronson book called Uptown Funk.
It was such a good
Right.
book. Let's talk about that
It's a little
book.
bit different. Yeah. It's so good. It's fascinating. And just for anybody that spends a fair amount of their time getting criticized on the internet,
say publicly
it's
shamed, yeah.
so good.
Really?
Yeah.
So what's
Yeah,
the takeaway? Give us the Cliff's Notes.
What
Well,
should I not have done?
Some of what he's saying is, so there used to be actual public shamings, like as a part of our, we used to do that, like Scarlet Letter, that kind of thing.
Floggings and lynchings.
Right.
And
it didn't fall out of fashion because it was ineffective. It fell out of fashion because it was so profoundly effective. Essentially, it like kind of broke people psychologically. That there's something about being publicly shamed that the kind of the psyche can't handle. So we stopped doing it. And now everybody with the Twitter account has the capacity to do it again. And it's like an overpowered weapon where we don't fully understand what it's capable of destroying. And so we are kind of clumsily wielding all this power, and we have the capacity to really destroy people, and we haven't figured out how to use it in constructive ways yet. And so it goes through all these different examples of people whose lives have been really affected in such negative ways because people think the power of Twitter or the power of the internet is a helpful tool for judgment, but it's a really destructive kind of overpowered weapon.
Shauna, did he share the anecdote about how it came to be a topic of interest? When I watched the video, basically there was these professors who created this algorithm to automate tweets, and it took on his persona. And so he got offended that someone was impersonating online, and he posted this YouTube confrontation of them, and which I watched, which was really fascinating. But he was saying that the initial feeling of satisfaction of like calling out someone who you feel like has perpetrated an injustice against you is so strong. But then he saw like in the comments, people were like, these people deserve to die. They're terrible. And how it can just spiral out of control so quickly.
Totally. It was so fascinating because they were essentially saying to him, they were like, what is it that we're saying that sounds not like you? We've essentially created a more you than you internet identity. So you can't really argue with what we've done. But then, so he felt like that initial rush of power and then that deep sense of like, whoa, this can get out of control so quickly.
Okay, here's my question about that though, because with this feedback comment, like it actually did hurt, and I did my one response, then she responded some more, and then I just decided I'm not going to respond because this is like going to be a conversation but there's part of it that's like, I wish you just emailed me personally. Like I've got a website, anybody can email me. I'm full of open access,
and she didn't do at your name. She said public to her platform,
right,
and tagged your name.
Right.
And so it's like she was announcing, condemning you to her followers.
And part of her response was also like, did anybody else see this? Like, it was like, okay, we're going to get, and I was just like, I'm not going to respond to this because it's going to turn into a thing. But part of it, though, is like, okay, I wish it had been personal, because if I got an email that said, hey, this, I would have responded personally. It's the public aspect of it. But also, I have this public microphone where I'm not speaking to everyone personally. I'm just saying whatever I want. And
Ann Curry's crazy.
Right. Like, I'm going to hear from Ann Curry. And I should. Like, I feel like, what public responsibility do we have putting things out publicly that we should be replied to publicly? Does that make sense? Well,
I think it's twofold. It's that we all have, hyper amplification of all of our thoughts. So like, there's another example from John Ronson, that woman who was on a flight to South Africa, and she posted like a tongue-in-cheek tweet that was very offensive, especially if you read it for face value. But she was trying to point out the absurdity of white privilege, and ultimately that it was grossly misinterpreted, probably, largely her fault. But people had this sense of righteous justice of like, I'm calling out someone for being ignorant.
Yeah.
And it feels good. And Eddie, not to say that you are being ignorant, but I think there's this impulse to say someone's doing something offensive, they need to be called out for that. But at some point, it just, like, where does that impulse come from? Why do we feel like we have to call people out on every transgression, large or small, even if it's public?
And I tend to always come back to kind of the relationship side of it. Like, I have a couple friends who, this happened fairly recently. I posted something on Twitter that I thought was funny, and I got an email right away from a friend who I've known for probably 20 years. And he said, hey, I love you, and this sounds like this to me, and I don't think you're that kind of person. Maybe take it down. And I took it down immediately because I trust him, because we have a relationship, because he came to me privately. And I'm so thankful for that. I think, but it feels really different to me when it's kind of that, I'm using this to illustrate a point about my agenda or my set of priorities, and I don't care what happens to you in the process.
Very interesting thing. That being said, I also feel like I err way too much on the side of just like, I know me, I know the depths of me, I know like I could not be less racist. Like, I don't know how to say that. Like, I think this is just not a part of who I am. And I like being just funny. And so because of that, I'm like, I just said it on the show last week and it seemed like completely nothing to me. But then you realize, funny, if someone doesn't really know me or trust me, which why would they? I mean, I'm just like a guy on a show, right? Like, they don't really know me and trust me. That why wouldn't that seem somewhat offensive? And so there's part of it that's like, okay, I don't like the method by which it was responded to, but I also get that it's like, I can't just rest on, I knew my intentions. Well, that doesn't matter. You're still, your intentions work when you're having a conversation like with your friend or your wife, because they know you and you get sort of that backstory. This is just, you're almost approaching everybody with a clean slate. It's interesting to think about. It was It was good feedback, even though I did not like it. It almost started a Twitter war.
Well, it's like, I mean, look at what happened to Trevor Noah. Is that his name? The young guy who just got named the host of The Daily Show.
Right.
You know, people immediately started mining his Twitter feed and saw some things that, are offensive to some groups. And I'm not making my own judgments about his jokes and or whether how offensive they are or are not. But we live in an era where everything you say, people are going to strip it from its context, whether or not the context justifies it or not. And you just have to be hyper aware of that, especially if you're saying something publicly.
Still, though, I was pissed.
Yes, you were.
Eddie, did you, to be honest, not that I'm trying to find humor, but were you like stewing in bed over I just feel like people's personality differences can be so different, but it like deeply, like that one tweet like deeply bothered you.
Deeply.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell a little bit about Eddie is like 2 or 3 days later, he's still thinking about it.
Oh yeah. It deeply bothers me.
Yeah.
But it's also, well, I think it's the nature of it. Like there's been some pushback that I'm just like, oh, shut your mouth. But the idea, like race, I'm like, that's a family issue. Like we cannot.
Yeah, especially this week.
Yeah. But it did. So, but what's a big deal? I said it. I was the idiot that said it. So I should, whatever. It's my fault.
I feel like Eddie and I would both, like stay up night after night thinking about. I feel like Jesse would just sleep like a baby, like whatever. I feel like Cameron would have like an organized brain thing around it. Like
I would
personally would bother you, but you've made a policy about how you feel about it.
I would respond to the person like show them that they're wrong, and then I would never think about it again. I would sleep well.
The hard thing with that is, you can shut this down at any point because we're getting deep into it now. But like the hard part of it is that like I feel like I can as like is kind of using the counselor brain, kind of dismiss it, being like, there's probably an emotional reaction to what is happening in Baltimore. They're trying to attach things to that probably aren't because of that, and I would bet that they don't really believe that I'm. But then I'm still like, there's still an actual person in the planet that may think I'm a racist. And that to me is just unthinkable. And I can't, the logical one doesn't outweigh the other one.
Yeah.
I can't make that.
It amazes me that you were a pastor. Because
it destroyed me.
Because people would have opinions about the church because of you, or opinions about the service or ministry and church and eternity because of you.
It is probably what will make me never go back to that role again, even though I love it so much. I would probably. It was being a I would loved being a pastor, and I loved the opportunity, but the personal criticism that was directly related to either their family's well-being or their well-being or how they viewed God, even if they're not right, even if they're putting too much on a pastor, and I know that it's them laying their junk on me, even though I know that, I still never got past it. It was just too much.
I'm surprised you can do stuff in some capacity online, that like a podcast or have a public Twitter persona or write, because I feel like it's only amplified in this space versus.
I am too.
But
to be honest,
but I mean, very early, I was like, please don't read the comments ever. Yeah. Because if you read the comments and they're just gushing and they love you, you'll get a wrong sense of yourself. And if you read the comments and they're destroying you, you'll get a wrong sense of yourself.
No.
You just can't read the comments.
Yeah.
I feel like, Cameron, you have talked me down 1 million. Like, how many times have I texted you, like, someone said this about me on the internet? And Cameron's like, are you reading the comments again? We have talked about this. Yeah. You've been such a good, like, sane voice talking me down from that stuff.
Well, I listen, I ask questions when I've had the opportunity to become friends with like people like Rick Warren or get to know people like Rob Bell or different others. Yeah. And one of the first things I want to know when we have, because I don't care about small talk. Like, we're having dinner. How do you deal with criticism? Yeah. I want to know like how you cope and get up in the morning because like people are terrible and they've given me wisdom. Like they've like practical stuff. Like, I mean, like Rick, he's like, you just have to ignore all of it. Yeah.
It was the question I didn't ask Rachel Held Evans in the interview a couple weeks ago, but like she gets demolished all the time publicly, like constantly. I mean, she is the punching bag right now.
Well, she likes poking the bear.
I know, but like,
and the bear roars back sometimes.
I am shocked.
But how does she do it?
People respond to her. It's so far over the line. And you're right. She is a little more.
She's asking for it in a way.
But still,
Well, she's got
Very often I send her emails like, I think you're nice. I'm so sorry what's happening to you on the internet.
Yeah,
See,
even if I disagree with you, you're still a really nice lady. You're doing a good job.
Totally.
I'm proud of you.
I bet
I
your
think
hair
I've
looks great
developed-
today. I don't know. I cannot believe how people treat her.
That's true. Yeah.
I think I've developed an equally unhealthy reaction to it, which is I find it genuinely funny, and like for some reason knowing that someone's upset about something that I said, like I said, this is probably just as bad and terrible, but it really makes me laugh. Like I remember the first time it was back when we first started the podcast. And Cameron, you said that we got an email that I had offended the bald.
The
Like,
bald,
was
of
was
course.
the first demographic that, and I remember
We've
thinking,
gone systematically down the list and offended
Yeah,
pretty
we
much
have-
every category of
We
people
have
since then.
almost
yeah, but
nobody
that was
left.
the first
The
one I
bald,
publicly.
the bald
offended.
was the first one. Yeah, back
Was the
deep in the
bald.
archives. Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember thinking, this is kind of funny. Like, there's a bald guy out there who was genuinely offended by something, and I should feel bad, but I just think it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Tyler said the most helpful thing one time. Well, there was one of the articles was doing well, I guess, meaning people were just commenting and they were just demolishing it. And Tyler, before I even had a chance to ask him, he just texted me and was like, at least they're talking. And I'm like, you know what? That's a good point.
Yeah.
At least we're having the conversation.
At least someone cares enough to talk about it.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Well, the problem with internet commenters is they usually don't read the thing. They'll read the headline.
Now, that is
and,
true.
And they'll just spout stuff. And it's like, did you read? What? I'm agreeing with you. Anyway. Yeah. Well, I have no transition here.
No, that's a good counseling sesh for me. Another nice counseling session on the podcast.
I had two things I wanted to bring up this morning, and it was before Slices, and it was Nick Walinda,
Yep.
and we have a Joe the Neighbor update, but I'm going to save that for feedback. So we have a Joe the Neighbor update coming up
Okay.
later. It's time for entertainment releases. Music coming out on Tuesday, May 5th. Best Coast is releasing California Nights. I'm assuming that they're assuming California is the best coast.
yeah, that's the left coast.
Yeah. Django is coming out with Born Under Saturn. Anne Berlin is releasing Never Take Friendship Personal. It's a live album from New York City. Did John David Snavely perked up? He's a big Anne Berlin fan, I
No, I
guess.
was confused.
Why?
How many
Well,
like
they're done.
farewell tours do they have to go on?
Yeah. This was apparently a recording from their farewell tour, so this is apparently their farewell album. I don't know. My Morning Jacket's coming out with The Waterfall.
Oh, I love them.
Not to be confused with TLC's Waterfalls.
Love them too. I'd buy both.
Ivan and Ilyusha is coming out with It's All Just Pretend. They're featured in the new issue of Relevant. The fantastic group. Plum, remember her?
Yeah.
Plum's coming out with Exhale.
I said, yeah, I don't.
You don't remember Plum? CCM from the 90s?
Oh, I remember Plum.
Yeah, Tiffany
No,
Arbuckle.
no,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Coming out with Exhale. And Mumford and Sons,
Oh.
the reinvention album,
Yeah.
Wilder Mind, is coming out.
How do you reinvent yourself? I just don't get that. I feel like you've been doing a thing for so long, then you put out an album, then all of a sudden you switch directions. It's like
They put out 2 albums, and then people got tired of Banjos and Haze.
Yeah, I feel like their style got appropriated, and so it was time to
So
move on.
fast and so widely, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of Monsters and Men would be one of the bands, the Hay bands, that
Yeah.
appropriated their sound. They're releasing a new album soon, and also totally new sound.
I guess it's
Still
like
singable and all that, but just modern, more guitar, less
I guess I should
folky.
think of it more as like they're progressing. They're like they just continue to grow as artists.
I mean, Relevant's different than it was 10 years ago.
Yeah. I guess progressing, right? Okay.
Progressing.
Great.
So Mumford and Sons is progressing with Wilder Mind.
Good job,
on May
Mumford and
5th.
Sons.
Yeah.
We're proud of you.
Movie releases coming out on Friday, May 8th. Hot Pursuit, Reese Witherspoon and Sofia Vergara.
Is it like a buddy comedy?
Yeah, a by-the-book cop, Reese Witherspoon, tries to protect the widow, Sofia Vergara,
yeah.
of a drug boss as
Oh.
they race through Texas, pursued by crooked cops and murderous gunmen.
Oh boy, that is silly.
It's it's basically what's that? The two women
It's
and
like
the
everything. It's like what-
convertible over the cliff.
Thelma and Louise.
Thelma and Louise. It's Thelma and Louise.
I mean, it's like that in that
In the
it's two
sense
women.
that there are 2 women.
and they're
Sure.
in Texas. I never saw Thelma and Louise. I assume it's the same.
they may
didn't?
both be
No.
in a
You-
vehicle at some point.
You're going to see
together.
Thelma and Louise and have a little regret at that.
Not having
joke.
any gender trouble with that last comment.
Why would I see Thelma and
Oh,
Louise?
it's a movie about 2
It's a
ladies.
good movie.
Which-
Young Brad Pitt is in it.
When am I going to be in the mood to see Thelma and Louise if I've gone this long without ever getting into that mood?
I don't know, man. You watched all of Alf
Relevant Christmas Party.
during Dark Cameron.
Relevant Christmas party.
Yeah,
That's true.
during Sad Cameron, you watched Alf.
Yeah. Also coming out, Saint Laurent. It's a
Is that-
biopic about Yves Saint Laurent.
Is that correct pronunciation, Shauna?
Saint Laurent.
Saint Laurent. It's the fashion brand.
No, I know.
The
great.
designer.
Yeah, that's cool. I can't
that's
wait.
coming out. And Bravetown, Josh Duhamel and Laura Dern. It's Josh Harvest, a hardened New York City teen from a broken home, and quietly one of the country's top dance club DJs and remixers.
Quietly, one
Yeah.
of the country's top.
Is
I feel like,
sensen-
how could
is-
you quietly be that?
That seems like an oxymoron.
Is
to me.
sentenced to counseling for a minor drug infraction, along with an extended stay with his estranged father, who lives in a small town in North Dakota.
Perfect. And who's the who's the counselor?
I don't have the full cast listing.
Yeah, but that's
there's
gotta be
of course a
perfect.
counselor. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of a
Is Laura Dern the counselor? Is that what you said?
maybe. Yeah, maybe Laura Dern.
Did you guys see Wild?
Not yet.
No.
I bought it on iTunes, but I haven't watched it yet.
Bree rented it last night, but I was sick, so she watched
I
it. Was it
loved
good?
it.
I heard there was
totally
nudity.
loved it, and I thought Laura Dern was fabulous.
I heard there was nudity, and so I haven't watched it.
You don't watch movies with nudity?
I try not to.
It's good for you.
I'm an alone Christian man. I probably shouldn't be cuddling up with a nudie film.
God,
I don't know that we would call Wild a nudie film.
it's so funny to like the way you said it. I'm like, I totally agree, but then it still feels weird that you wouldn't watch Wild.
No, it's
but,
not that I won't watch it. I was just like, I bought it, and then somebody told me, like, Reese Witherspoon's naked in it.
this
And
is one of
so-
those nudie films.
Well, it's like I watch these things on my iPad on flights, and so it's like I don't want to be like the guy watching.
Now that is weird, right?
know?
That, I downloaded the whole first season of Girls to watch on a
Oh
flight.
no!
Dear Lord. I
plan.
haven't even watched that, but I know I wouldn't watch
Were
that.
you like awkwardly positioning your iPad like at different moments? Like,
I was like under the
I
seat, like what have I done? It was terrible.
like you make a little shield of Sky Malls, R.I.P. around your iPad.
I had to make it like a little tent. I'd ask for a blanket. Hey guys,
That's really funny, Shauna.
it's a bad plan.
All right, well, that'll do it for entertainment releases and your Nick Melinda disappointment update. Stay tuned. Up next, Slices. You're listening to GTA. The song is Red Lips featuring Sam Bruno from the album DTG Volume 1. At the beginning of the podcast, you heard The Bots with Blinded from the album Pink Palms. Okay, it's time for Slices. What do you have, Jesse?
All right, so I have the story of some hapless criminals in Alaska. So first off, if you're an enterprising young criminal mastermind, I may make the suggestion that stealing a crate of pizzas, 5 cases of frozen pizza valued at $1,000, probably isn't the best risk to undertake in one of your heists. But that's exactly what a couple 20-somethings did. They broke into a warehouse and stole 5 cases of frozen pizza. Total value, $1,100.
Was it just a normal, unair conditioned, uninsulated warehouse, and so therefore, because it's Alaska, it was frozen pizzas? Were they?
Yeah, by warehouse,
question.
it could have just been shed.
It was just a shed out back. They don't need freezers out there.
Right. That's one of the main benefits.
It's one of the perks.
You know how much money you save by not having a freezer?
You literally just chuck stuff out the back door and go walk around your backyard when you get hungry.
It's like the
Yeah.
mailman.
I think your Florida is showing right now.
So not only did they steal a product, and it wasn't like they stole it with just they were hungry, because I could see that. I could see like, we're just really hungry. I think these 5 cases of pizza. That doesn't make it right, but it makes it a little bit more logical.
Yeah,
But
the ethical dilemma, would you steal a loaf of bread to feed your family? You're saying it's not that.
No, and I'm not, and I'm saying like their intent on this wasn't just to acquire frozen pizzas. It was ultimately to make money from this heist. So it seems like stealing 5 crates of frozen pizza wasn't the best idea.
Maybe up there, pizza's at a premium, and that's like gold. I mean, maybe it's so valuable and rare.
Well, they actually say in the story the pizzas were valued at $13.75 per pizza, which I guess is a little expensive for a frozen pizza, but it's not outrageous.
Yeah.
I think it's outrageous.
Yeah, it's pretty outrageous. We got
not
all
double.
that gas and fuel to get it up there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Well, either way, they're looking at inflated pizza prices. They have this pizza, which is almost worth double the value of what like a DiGiorno's worth in the lower 48, evidently. So now they have to decide, how do we sell these pizzas to make money from our heist? They decided to call, they were like, who would be hungry right now? Like it's mid-morning. Who can we call that they might have had people on the clock that would be working that would really want some frozen pizza? They called the police department to try to determine if any officers on duty wanted some frozen pizza.
What?
They said, we have a great deal. We will sell your officers some frozen pizzas.
I gotta say also, just before we continue on with this, as I was looking through slices, I saw this one and thought, no, that'll be Jesse's. Because you just, of course, you just know when somebody steals pizza and tries to sell it to the police, Jesse's on that beat. So I had to
Sadly
move
for
on.
these criminals, a massive heist had been reported earlier that morning from a pizza company who had 5 cases of pizza stolen.
It's amazing.
I don't have the details of how the arrests were actually went down, but I can't help but think that the police were like, sure, bring the pizzas on down.
Oh, my goodness.
The moral of the story is it's wrong to steal pizza,
Correct.
but it's just dumb to try to resell it to police officers. If you end up in a heist, like let's say you get dragged along a heist,
Right.
which is a pizza
Yeah,
heist.
it can happen.
Yeah, just take your cut of the bounty in
Right.
pizza and just pay yourself in pizza. Probably not a good thing to try to sell in the
Well,
open.
and let's just brainstorm some possible places that would be better to try to sell
Yeah.
the stolen pizzas than the police station.
Then on-duty police officers.
all the places.
I would say
all
anywhere.
the places there are in the whole world
But
Would be better than the police
It's-
are
station.
better than the police
but it's
station.
rural Alaska. They
That's
can't
true.
they can't go around door to door. So what's the one thing in the town? You know, well, there's the police station. There's
a
at least
library,
half a dozen.
public school, the fire station, the
Just
post
this-
office.
the
I mean, I'm
street.
not even a criminal, and
Well,
I have a lot of ideas.
They're customers of stamps.com up there, so they don't go. The post office is empty. But,
They don't even need to.
But
That's true.
This seems more like a crime of opportunity. It doesn't seem like something like that one guy was like on his computer one night and he's like, it's time to assemble the team. And he's
No.
got like the
It's not like Ocean's 11.
Yeah,
is what
where
you're saying.
he's got like the nimble guy who's going to make his way in. He's got the
Right.
hacker who's going to hack the security system of the warehouse. He's got the van driver. This seems like a couple guys were walking along and the warehouse left the back door open
Yeah.
or something.
I never saw that because it was a nudie movie, though.
no, it wasn't. It was very good. You can watch it on a plane. Yeah, but 5 crates. Then I mean, there had to have been some premeditated. Maybe he worked there or something. I mean, that's just like that's a lot
You're
of pizza.
saying,
to
you're
have to
saying
move.
this was an inside job.
I'm saying 5 crates isn't like we're walking down the street and like, oh, I'm going to swipe a couple of pizzas.
But Cameron, don't you think if you worked at a factory, a pizza factory or warehouse or whatever,
Just
there's
imagine
more
that.
valuable things. And you're like, I'm going to take this place down. Like I'm gonna sell stuff and move to the Bahamas or Mexico. I'm gonna move out of Alaska with one last heist. I'm gonna get the band back together and we're gonna do one last run. You think the most valuable thing you can find in the whole warehouse is 5 crates of pizza?
Maybe.
Yeah. Well, their names were Ron and Danny DiGiorno, and that's all that's where their minds went.
all they know.
They just love pizza.
Yeah.
I'd say like at least take the forklift or something.
Yeah, that's true. That's a great point.
The pizzas are probably the least valuable thing in that warehouse.
Actually, that's true.
I do love
Although
this.
not if they're $13.75 each. My goodness.
That's printing money right there.
Yeah, but you know how long
Yeah.
it takes to get some of those things up to Alaska? Like whatever they use in pizza, wheat. They don't have wheat in Alaska.
Oh,
They
yeah.
got to bring it all the way
Yeah.
in.
This is like they have no natural resources and the food variety.
No, you want a moose?
So-
You want a moose pizza?
yeah. Oh yeah,
You
they
can
got
get
that.
that.
That's
Salmon
cheap.
pizza, sure.
They're
Yeah,
giving
it's
it
cheap.
away.
Yeah,
You can just
yeah.
have it. But if you want, yeah.
So you're saying it's like a game of Settlers of Catan where one guy ended up with all the ore and it's just way inflated. That's the Alaska pizza situation. Like I'll take 6 sheep for one of those ore.
That is an in the nerd weeds joke, buddy. Well done.
I stand by it.
I know you do. You ever played Settler, Shauna?
No.
Oh, it's so fun.
No, I'm not a game person. It's one of the
What?
worst parts. I have a couple like serious personality flaws, and that's one of them. I hate playing games.
Can I derail everything for a second? How can you not be a game person?
I'm not competitive in any way.
Me neither.
And I would just rather sit next to the people who are playing games and read magazines, which I do.
But what
My
about-
husband loves to play Monopoly, and I just sit next to him and read magazines because he trash talks a lot. I don't like being yelled at. And I am profoundly non-competitive. Like, it just doesn't matter to me in any way.
But what about the strategic part of your mind that wants to like buy Orm, have the longest road, and do all those kinds of things?
What about the part of your mind that wants to do recreational commodities trading? Because I mean, how is that urge ever satisfied if you're not playing
No part of my mind wants to do imaginary commodities trading. I don't want to buy imaginary hotels. I don't like none of it. I don't like animated movies. I don't like it when animals talk, and I don't like to play games. I know those are like terrible things.
How do you parent? That is basically parenting.
Stretching me, I know.
Play games with your kids, and they can watch the Disney movies.
Well, I watch them now with them, but I would never prefer to see an animal talk. It bothers me.
Cameron, do you play Settlers of Catan?
I've never played it. I'm not. I have nerdy friends who do play it, but I
guess me and Jess.
Not just for nerds. Not just for nerds.
Yeah, it's not just for nerds.
I'm not invited to the nerd parties. So
It's really fun to play.
My strategy is always
I love it.
to build the longest road.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
I will threaten someone. I will say, if you build a settlement there, you know I've been working on this road the whole game. We're not friends.
Did you get do you have the expansion packs?
No, that's way too nerdy. For
No.
me.
That changes the ball
That's
game.
next level.
I'm actually sleeping.
Settlers is really fun.
So either way, don't steal pizza. And
Hey,
sell it to the
maybe next relevant podcast party we have a game night at our house,
that'd be
Oh, we
fun.
watched Thelma and Louise.
and we watch Thelma and Louise. We're already planning the Christmas party. I like it. It's gonna be so epic this year.
Eddie can do some edgy racial humor.
And then
We'll critique it.
And I'll crumble at your feedback.
We'll critique your emoji jokes.
And then Brienne will slowly talk me back to life as she has so many times before.
all right, what do you have, Shauna?
Well, Jesse and I did not plan this, but I also have chosen a slice that is primarily about crime and food. And so this is the question. Let's say, imagine with me,
I'm listening.
you have broken into someone's home.
Okay,
What's the first thing you do?
Burn the house down.
use the restroom.
All right.
I stuff things in the
two were
sink and
not
turn
the
them off
things
like
I was
wet
thinking
bandits.
What did you say,
What would you do?
Jesse? What did you say?
Oh, I would stuff old towels in the sink and turn them all on like the wet bandits.
Good point.
They will think it's very unpleasant that their house is funny, but they're like, hey, look, this robber dropped a Home Alone reference here.
I'd like to see if they have an Xbox 2 or the new PlayStation. I think I'd try to steal that. And
I'd grab their mail and throw it in random rooms.
Yes, so that they think that that's a good one.
Yeah. So this particular burglar in Petaluma, California,
Petaluma.
had a kind of a two-step approach. Number one, make some tater tots. Number two, take a nap.
That is it. So this guy just wanted to chill.
Okay, this
This
guy
guy was in for the long
This guy
con.
was high. I
Yeah.
mean, there's no way he wasn't
We
high.
know what happens after those two things in his plan. Step one, tater tots.
I'm not-
Step two, nap.
That guy just was tired. He doesn't need to steal stuff. He just needs a nap.
He had the munchies.
Some tater. He did. Well, clearly he was crazy.
He was
high.
Ann Curry crazy.
Well, that's a different
Talk
kind.
about premeditation too. I feel like if your crime involves preheating an oven,
Perfect.
it's
If your
clearly
crime-
premeditation in the court of law.
Quote that forever. If your crime involves preheating an oven.
Your Honor. Like that's in the legal textbooks.
Right.
It's like the definition
That's
of,
first degree.
of premeditation.
Yeah.
It's not like he saw like a cake on the counter.
Yeah.
That's a
You know?
mandatory.
That's a crime of passion, an impulse.
Check the freezer. What
Yeah.
temp do I preheat?
Yeah.
Is there
Yeah.
ketchup? I mean, there's a lot going on
Yeah,
here.
he
So
read the instructions. And what did he do for the 14 minutes while the oven was heating?
Right. You
who
just
even knows?
you just wait because you cannot stand there in front of the oven while it's preheating or it'll never
He's
preheat.
looking at
You
the side
gotta
of the tater tot box, and he's like, ooh, 12 to 15, depending on how crispy. I do like them crispy. I'm going to have to go 15 here.
Yeah, I do. Right. You cannot. That's the Sophie's choice of frozen pizzas, isn't it? Do I put it on the pan or do I just keep it on
You keep
on the
peeking
rack.
in. I don't want to let too much heat out, but I can peek in.
But I want it crispy, but I know I'm also just playing with death here because I'm about to burn it.
Yeah, is it gooey or golden? I don't know. I'm closing it
I
back up.
walk that line. It's super hot, right on the oven little thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You have to.
So this is what's interesting also about the story is the people who live in the home were home.
What in God's green earth?
So a woman comes downstairs and sees a man sleeping on her couch, and somehow I'm imagining like the remains of the tater tot snack.
Yeah, tater crumbs.
Yeah, I don't know if there's ketchup, maybe paper plate, dishes, I don't know. But so she runs out of the house,
Okay.
calls the police, and then the police come, wake him up, and remove him.
Well, it's good they came because they were in the middle of a pizza party.
Yeah, they were just.
They're like, oh man, do we have to? We
Just got a great deal on all these DiGiorno's.
Dude, I just scored 5 cases of pizza for like $2 off, man. These guys, you are really, it's the same day that warehouse got robbed. Weird.
Oh my goodness.
When I heard about that warehouse robbery, I kind of got hungry for pizza.
So the police came and arrested the napping tater tot bandit. His crime was assuming just breaking and entering because he didn't steal anything.
Well, he has a history. He has a criminal history, so he's being held for $30,000 bail because he had some drug and weapons possession.
Which is why
his past.
it's why his friends were
Right.
trying to raise the bail money by stealing pizzas.
It all comes full circle.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, Jim, you remember Jim? He's the guy, he's part of our gang, the heist gang. Listen, he got locked up for some tater tots. I think we need an old-fashioned pizza heist to raise bail money. I only need 400 crates of pizza to cover it.
Did you call their crew the Heist Gang? Is that
The
the
Heist
best
Gang.
the best name you could come up with?
I will say this. The name is part of what gave them away to police officers because they put it right on the side of the van.
Do you have to buy some pizza from my friends, the Heist Gang?
I'm racking my brain trying to think of a better name for somebody that steals tater tots or pizza. There's a joke out there, isn't there? I just can't find it. Let's just give it a minute.
Love that Jesse and I are apparently just right there, just
Yeah.
brains so connected. Like, you know what I want to talk about? I want to talk about crimes and snacks.
Yeah, it says a lot about our society that this is happening in multiple states.
Dude,
you
it
know?
totally does.
It's a national interstate epidemic.
That's true. All right, what do you have, Eddie?
Well, mine doesn't have anything to do with crime or snacks, but I wish it does. It did because I really want one of those bagel bites now. When was the last time you had a bagel bite?
I have them in my freezer.
God, are they good? I'm vegan.
I'm gonna break into Cameron's house.
Do you know how the heist gang they don't want to leave their fingerprints behind? You know what they use?
Still going with the heist gang. Keep going.
When they break in, it's like some guys have like the black gloves or whatever. They just have oven mitts. Tots, man.
They're just ready to go.
Don't leave any fingerprints behind.
Yeah, I had a Friday night not all that long ago where I realized all I had eaten for dinner was pans of bagel bites, and so I kind of reevaluated life after that.
I guess so, but then also
plural pan.
Oh,
so
yeah.
good, right? It's good every once in a while.
Yeah.
It's not like you're
Until you go back and go, I wonder what I just did to myself. Let me look at the nutritional information on the side of the box
Yeah.
after the fact.
Yeah.
You feel really bad about
Yeah,
yourself.
I've been doing this thing. It's called MyFitnessPal. It's like this app where you
Yeah.
enter in everything, and
Yeah.
it's been super interesting. But I'm always shocked at like, oh wow, a bagel bite that's 18,000 calories.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
Just like that stuff that you're like, oh, just like the pre-dinner snacking. You know, like the snacking you do while you're eating.
no.
You
What are
do.
you talking? Kevin James on King of Queens famously would stop on his way home to grab a Whopper, and he was like pre-mealing.
No, I'm just talking about like you're mixing everything up and you like take a bite of the whole thing.
like while you're cooking.
Yeah.
See, I don't do that.
Or
so
like
I
that
don't-
was a whole.
yeah.
You don't do that. You don't cook.
Every
I don't
once in a while,
cook.
Oh.
if I post a picture of like a dinner party, Cameron will text me like, I am having pizza rolls.
Yeah.
I do.
My freezer is jam-packed because that's all I eat, because I can
do.
pop it in the microwave or the
You
toaster
should-
oven.
you should-
Because,
start-
Eddie, you realize pre-mealing for Cameron would be taking a bite of a frozen pizza.
right.
It's actually just having like a couple ice cubes.
Cameron,
when he
I-
opens the freezer. Like,
I do want you to take though one of the Shauna Instagram pictures though the next time you do that, where it's just like a plate of your bagel bite and like a Diet Pepsi, but take it from above.
and beautiful,
And just
I'll have the
awesome.
napkin perfectly placed. toothpaste.
with your perfect little shoes and everything.
And I'll do a side by side with Shauna's identically framed.
we got to do that.
See, mine would just be like they would be on top of like a greasy paper towel.
Yeah, or you're not even lying. It's still just kind of in the glass plate that comes out of the microwave. That's really hot still. But you're like, I'll just keep it
I
on
don't
that.
put them on plates. What I'll do is
No, you don't have time for
the
that.
pan is there, and I'll take them and I'll slide them onto like a cutting board.
Yeah.
And I'll just eat off the cutting board. I'll take the cutting board into the.
There are a lot
family
of
room,
restaurants though that they
Put
serve
my
your
feet
food.
up, put on the game, and I'm just chowing on bagel bites and my big old Diet Coke. I have
Living the dream.
the souvenir cup from the Magic Games,
No,
the
I
huge
know.
ones.
I
That's
know.
all I drink out of because they're huge. They're like movie theater cups, you know.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, and
So-
that's called being a bachelor
Yeah.
in your late 30s.
You be you, homie. You be you. Well, let's talk.
I think that's really ageless bachelor behavior.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I don't think your late 30s have anything to do with it. I think it's just,
Because I mean, there's 20-year-old guys listening to this, and there's 65-year-old guys listening to this right now, going like, "Yeah, dude,
Yep.
that is
Oh,
that is
when my
the-
mom goes out of town, I fear for what happens nutritionally for my dad, and so I just invite him over as often as possible and just slide vegetables across the countertop, like just a little bit, just try.
just a little bit, just all."
Dana went out of town a few weeks ago, and I've been trying to eat healthy, believe it or not. Well, healthier. I still eat pretty terrible. But I ate a salad, but I just ate it right out of the bag with my bare hands. Like I just opened
Absolutely.
the bag. and
Absolutely.
I got out a bowl and salad dressing and stuff, and I was like, I don't want to have to clean up. I literally just put my hand in there and just
Absolutely.
started eating it.
Did you
And then
put
when I was done, I
dressing in the
rolled
bag?
up. What's that?
Did you put dressing in the bag?
No, I just took my hand and I just decided just to make it. I fill my stomach as quickly as possible with as little effort as possible.
So I mean, you could have like done the mixture of the dressing and the salad in your mouth. Like I've done that, where you put something in and then you put the other ingredient in,
Yeah.
and just it's in the bite.
You know what? That needs to be a reality show because like JD and Cameron and I are listening to all of this and we're like, no, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
If I was alone, this is absolutely what we would do.
Because it was like because the dressing. My mind was like, I'm not going to enjoy this meal anyway. It's
Yeah.
simply to satisfy hunger
It
and,
is
and get some
functional.
nutritional value. Why not just go as minimal effort as possible? And that means ripping open this bag, shoving my hand
Yeah.
in there, and seeing how much I can get in my mouth.
Jesse,
And
this is. I mean, maybe it's sad to some people. This is just my reality. I'm fine with it. It's my choice. I can't tell you how many meals I've had where I just would take out the pack of bologna slices.
Certainly.
And I would take a slice of bologna in my hand and take the mustard in my other hand,
Right.
squirt a line down the middle,
Right.
roll it up,
Perfect.
like a hot dog, standing at the counter. 3 of those, no hunger. I'm
I
done.
do that
Done.
all the time, and I don't
I
accept
literally,
no
the
mustard.
first time Cameron told me that, A, I almost wept, and B, I was like, I'm going to need you to move to Chicago next door and start coming over for dinner because this troubles me.
I'm telling you, we all do that, and your boys will, and your husband does. Every
let me
single
ask
one
you-
of us. Like when I'm alone, when I'm home alone, if I want to have like a fancy dinner, and I'm talking about like I'm going to put some effort into this, I'll take the sub out of the bag and put it on an actual plate. That's as far as it'll get
That's
for like.
way. That's
Yeah, why?
way
But now you
further
got to
than I
clean the
would go.
plate.
I
Why
know,
would
but
you do that?
I don't know why I would do that. But that's like if I'm gonna go fancy, like that's about
Let
as.
me ask you this: have any of you guys been at the place where you eat ramen without water?
Yes, I've eaten ramen.
Like
without water.
I've
Like,
just
just
opened the
crunch it?
ramen and
Yeah.
thought about the process of like having to boil
Ugh.
the water and stuff.
and
I'm
then you
like,
got to
know
clean
what?
that pot.
No. You don't do that. What you do is you put the ramen in a coffee pot and you just do a pot of coffee. The hot water goes into the ramen.
Brilliant.
You put your
No,
thing,
no,
and then you eat it out of the coffee pot like it's a bowl.
There's
Brilliant.
nothing wrong with
I'm
that.
telling
Shauna.
you, I've been at the point in my life where that seems like too much effort.
Jesse,
like I literally just
putting
open
a-
the bag and eat the raw ramen.
Putting the ramen in a coffee pot and hitting start is not too much effort.
For me, at times it is.
Yeah, Shauna, I'm telling you, it's a whole world. There's a whole subculture, and it's half of us. And it exists all around you.
I'm just having, like, you guys are blowing my mind right now.
Although there are tens of thousands of people who thought, I'm going to do ramen like that now. See,
Totally.
I mean, you don't got to boil water.
Wait, explain the ramen to me again. Now, does the coffee, it's
No,
always going to taste like ramen now, right?
No. The coffee pot. So it's like it's you put it in the glass pot.
No
crevice.
coffee grounds are a part
No
of
coffee
this,
grounds.
just to be clear.
So what you're doing is just there's no coffee in the coffee maker. It's just the hot water heats the water up, and it would normally pass through the grounds, and then the coffee would go into the
Yeah.
pot. So there's no coffee involved. So it's just
You're
hot
not putting
water.
noodles in the glass pot.
I put the noodles in the glass pot.
No.
And then hot water comes
Dumps
onto
onto
it,
it.
turning.
Nothing ever goes in the glass pot ever except coffee ever.
Well,
No,
and
no, yeah, I
coffee,
wash
coffee and noodles.
I wash my coffee
read
pot.
read the directions.
Yeah, and other things that need to be in hot water. Shauna, I attempted to make, it didn't turn out well. I attempted to make one time in college because I was just so hungry and I did not feel like I was on the 8th floor and the kitchen for the dorm was on the 1st floor and it just felt like too much of I attempted to make a grilled cheese sandwich on an iron one time.
Absolutely.
It just burned the outside of the bread, but I still ate it.
But like,
There was a guy who won on Top Chef by doing that. Did you see that?
No.
It's amazing. It was like they had to cook their whole meal with stuff that they inside a Target store. And so they could pick like whatever appliances they wanted, but they don't have like huge real stoves. And so he made really good grilled cheese sandwiches with an iron. And he said he learned to do it in college.
But
Mine was
won.
terrible.
But Target has like George Foreman grills and griddles and skillets. Why are you doing iron?
that's actually a good question.
Well, again, George Foreman grill, way too much cleanup. Have
Oh,
you used one of those?
way
It
too
takes
much
forever.
cleanup.
You're
Too much
I
scrubbing
used it
it.
like
Absolutely.
twice. Terrible product. I'm
Yeah.
very disappointed with the Foreman's.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying. Like for me,
All of
it's
them.
more about minimal effort and minimal cleanup.
That's the problem with all those things. That and the waffle iron. Like if you can't pop the thing out to put it in the dishwasher, that's a real pain to clean that whole
Yeah,
thing.
that's terrible.
Why
Yeah.
are you making waffles when there's Eggos and you just put it in a toaster?
Nailed it. Next.
I've
Someone's
had-
made the waffle for me.
I
All
know.
I have to do is apply heat.
I can't tell you how many dinners I've had that were Eggos, and all I would do is like they'd pop up, I'd take it out, I'd squirt a little bit of the syrup right directly on it, and now I'd eat it like a piece of toast.
Yeah, plates are
No
when,
plates.
When you're just a guy and you're alone, plates are almost a non. I went through all of college with a single coffee cup. No, that was it. I had a single coffee cup in my house, a coffee cup and a coffee maker, and I had a
Just like
fork.
that with towels.
I had a, oh God, you are Philip. Oh Lord.
when I go out of town, like before we had kids, when Aaron would be home alone, I would come home and it was only bowls and spoons because all he does is eat cereal when I'm gone. That's
Absolutely.
it. Like the only thing. Nothing
Yeah.
else is dirty. Nothing else has been used. Cereal, milk, spoon, bowl. That's it.
And I'm gonna tell you another pro tip that is gonna wreck their game, but they will do this when you're coming home. When the boys get a little bit older, they'll say, "Oh, Mom, text us like when you get in," and then you'll text and be like, "On my way home from the airport," and they will run around and start picking up. God knows what they've done in the kitchen, just destroying that place. It'll be wrecked.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think they're already, yeah. And then I wish they would, every time I get home and I'm like, no one ate the asparagus. No one ate. I mean, I prepped many different multicolored meals for you, and it looks like
Totally.
the only thing missing is cereal
Totally.
and frozen pizza.
I gave Cohen a dinner last night, and it was a plate of tan. I felt really bad as a dad.
Plate of tan.
Everything was tan. Every item. It was various shades of cream and tan. It was like corn and mac and cheese and tater tots or nuggets or something. It was like everything.
And you know what Cohen probably thought? This is a great meal.
My dad
Totally.
rules so hard.
Yeah. I felt bad. He needs some green in his life. What was your slice? Have you done it yet?
No, I mean, I feel like we just made up another slice, but if you want me to.
Yeah.
So there was a cool study that came out this week. It was from the folks that do Spotify, which is interesting because they're able to track people's listening habits. Like
The man, the
like-
big brother. They're watching us always.
Right, but I thought it was interesting. They have started to put out some data, but and this data is actually I've been afraid of what this data is proving for a long time because I'm such a fan of music, but I also always noticed when I was a kid that my dad never listened to new cool music, and I was always like, when does that point happen where
Your style, your music, everything. Your
Right.
haircut, the whole
Right.
thing just locks in.
It is.
The golden era.
But I'm telling you, it's happening. Like this, my haircut, this whole thing you see right now,
Yeah.
this will be me until it just goes bald. But there's not going to be
You're
any more.
riding this wave. This is it. You locked it in.
That's it. I feel
No
good
late
about this.
This is the
Dixie for
one
you.
last ride.
Right,
You know, the heist gang on your head.
Heist gang. But that's it. I'm locking in. Every week when you do entertainment releases, like
You're like, I have no interest in any of
I
that.
know. Well, I kind of want to, but then I'm like, okay. And then I'm just like, you know what? Ryan Adams. I'm going to go back. Listen, I love Ryan Adams, right? Because I'm listening to Ryan Adams for 10 years. So apparently, this is going to happen to all of us. It says, so Elliot Van Buskirk, like this matters. He works at Spotify. He said at around age 42, music taste briefly curves back to the popular charts and people have like a musical midlife crisis around the age 42. And they say that they're hearkening back to their youth. And this is specific in parents. And they're asking like, well, how would you know that they're parents? Well, it's because they're looking at all their music and they also have a ton of Elmo songs being played. So they see that what starts to happen is they have a bunch of kid songs, then a bunch of adult songs in their 30s, and there's different various bands, and then somewhere around the 40s, it all just loops back to the popular top 40 music.
Is it because their kids are getting older and they're listening to Katy Perry, and so they're like, oh, that's not bad, and so they're like listening together?
Right. No, that's it. And then it's also, but it's top 40 from like their youth. So they just start to go back.
nostalgia.
They're having like they're having a midlife. So all of a sudden, I'm just back to listening to Pearl Jam and Nirvana and all of the grunge era 90s, 80s stuff.
I do think I had a theory years ago that there's something that gets like set in your psyche
Yeah.
the year that you graduate from high school. And it's like music and culture and fashion. And no matter like whatever happens after that, you will always sort of, there's like a like the cement dries and you will always, like for me, that's 1994. There's something about 1994 that will always seem like that's how things should be.
The pinnacle.
Those kind of jeans are totally the kind of jeans people should still wear.
What was
you know?
the kind of music then? What was the music of the mid 90s for you?
Oh, I was Indigo Girls, jam band.
Oh my
I was
gosh.
going to a lot of Fish shows, a lot of Widespread Panic.
No,
Yeah.
you weren't.
That's
You went to
totally
Fish
me.
shows?
Fish.
A lot.
Oh, were you that girl? Were you like
I was
dancing?
totally that girl.
Oh, Shauna.
Yeah.
You were such a complex person. Just,
She was the smoking cheerleader who
Yeah.
going to fish shows.
just going to fish shows. I love knowing more about you. So the study also finds that after our teenage years, our tastes move away from the mainstream until we're about 30. So that makes sense. Kind of like post-teenage years, going through college, you're starting to listen to all of the non-top
Like
40 stuff.
indie music and stuff
Right,
like that.
you're
yeah.
discovering bands. This is that time, which I would say holds true with me. And they say that this is a result.
But you were a big Dave Matthews guy in your 20s.
Yeah, but Dave was kind of cool then. And I'm not just telling myself that. Like I was kind of like right in the. It wasn't solely Dave Matthews, but I was right in the curve of like all the friends were like getting bootlegs from the show, and we were like deep into the. God, I'm such a dork. I don't want to talk.
I'm like 100 years old when I say this, but I saw Dave open for Big Head Todd.
And the Monsters.
You are perfect.
Eddie, did that live, the
Shut up.
Dave Matthews live with Tim Reynolds, did that just like blow your mind
Dude,
back in the day, man?
It blew my mind.
When they're
That was
just
one of
like
the best things I've ever
noodling around on acoustic guitars.
That was like one of the best things I've ever heard. And I know you're totally goofing on me right now, but it really was amazing. It was so
Like you
good.
still think about it sometimes. You're like, dude, that Tim Reynolds guy. Wow.
He's the best. He is the best guitar player I've ever heard. Okay.
Were you
next.
sad when the violinist died?
Yes.
I was at, it was I was there the show after he died.
When he died? Oh.
No,
okay.
I wasn't there when he died. He didn't die on
At
stage.
my hand.
Yeah, no, it wasn't the violinist. It was the
Yeah, this is the real dude who died.
yeah, and it was also
Sorry.
the
Too soon.
saxophone player.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, the violinist guy he's doing just fine.
Because he could shred.
He is really good.
Yeah.
yeah. It was the saxophone player that died, and I was
sad.
there right after.
That was a pivotal part of the Dave Matthews sound.
It was.
that honky tonk jazzy
Yeah.
saxophone.
Except so what was funny is that I saw their like first show back, and it was like live at Red Rocks out in Seattle, and it
Yeah.
was like their home show.
Did they have
like,
a fill-in saxophonist, or did they just have a void
That's
in
what
their music?
They brought. Well, no. They had a fill-in, and everybody quickly realized, like, whoa, this fill-in is way better than the original guy. Like all of a sudden, they're doing these like long saxophone riffs that were like a half hour, and it was like, oh my gosh! Like, I'm not saying I'm glad he died, but I'm glad he's out of the band.
You don't even. I'm going to tweet you that offended me.
Anyhow,
Did you and your buddies used to talk about how sweet Carter Buford was, Eddie?
he was the best drummer. We used to talk about him all the time.
I know you did. I know Dave Matthews fans really well. I know what you guys do.
We talked about
I know
him-
the Tim Reynolds CD. I know about Carter Buford. I know what you guys are.
But I was also in a band. We were like trying to really do the thing then. And so Dave Matthews, it's really, we were
No,
so
I
typical.
knew a lot of guys like you. I know it.
I
You don't
knew
have to
a
explain.
lot.
I got it.
I knew a lot of-
clear.
Spotify just released a study about you. Literally
me.
just you.
Dave Matthews. Dave Matthews
Dave
or Nirvana.
Matthews guy from late 90s. No, we knew you.
Yep.
Anyway, so around 35, our musical tastes mature. And so at 35, we're really listening to
Adult contemporaries?
no, but we're listening to a wide variety of things.
Oh, okay.
So when you think about like people that are listening to Relevant, we are really perfectly in the square like kind of in the crosshairs of like listening to a bunch of diverse kinds of music. And I find that myself, like I'll go all over the map and listen to things. And they say, but even though that happens at 35, still around 42, you still come home and you're go back to like what was mainstream when you were young. So I look forward to, doing that in 7 years or tomorrow. So
there's this huge surge in Dave Matthews catalog sales in about 7 years. And
I'm having totally one of those, like I'm not 42 yet, but everything this week has been like every single thing that's happened to me has been like file under I am getting so old.
Yeah.
Last night we had a bunch of friends over and all their little girls are doing gymnastics in the lawn. The boys are playing basketball and the girls are doing gymnastics. And one of the girls was like, Shauna, can you do a cartwheel? I'm like, can I do a cartwheel? Are you kidding me? So several cartwheels and round offs later, I am so sore.
Just crumbling.
Wait,
like
you're doing round offs?
Problem.
Is there evidence, like video evidence of these round offs?
No, absolutely not.
Nobody
zero.
Put out a camera?
I do feel that though. There's something
next Christmas party.
Round off.
I had a similar experience. I was at like a skateboard ramp, where and all these like kids were playing around. I was like, I used to do this when I was 15 or whatever. And so I went to go like drop in, and it's like 4 or 5 feet. And it was literally just like jumping parallel and just slamming your body from 5 feet onto the flat ground. I remember just lying there, and people were like, it wasn't even like people were laughing.
You're like, sir, are you okay?
Because it was just like, imagine just jumping and just landing right on your side, like 5 feet on the ground. And it was just the sound of like a body smacking the ground. I just remember thinking, no one's laughing. That's probably not a good sign. Like that probably looked as bad as it hurts right now.
That's awesome.
It was like a wrestler performed like an invisible wrestler body slam.
All right, well, that'll do it for Slices. Stay tuned. Up next, on a very different note, Scott Harrison.
Yeah, I would say there could be no more different note than what we just did.
He's staring at me, I grabbed my key. He's staring at me, I started the car, then I tried to leave. But something told me to keep it in park until I could see the reason why he was mad at a stranger, like I was supposed to save him, like I'm the reason he homeless and asking me for a favor. He's staring at me, his eyes follow me with no laser. He's staring at me, I noticed that his stare is contagious. Cause now I'm staring back at him, feeling some type of disrespect. If I could throw a bat at him, he'd be aiming at his neck. I never understood someone begging for goods, asking for handouts, taking it if they could. And this particular person just had it down back, staring at me for the longest until he finally asked, have you ever opened up Exodus 14? A humble man is all that we ever need. Tell me how much a dollar cost.
You're listening to Kendrick Lamar. The song is How Much a Dollar Cost from To Pimp a Butterfly. Well, this week's feature interview is brought to you by Harry's, a shaving company that's disrupting the shaving industry, providing high-quality shaving experiences for really low cost. I'm a fan. I'm a user. Well, Harry's, you can get a high-quality shave for about half the price of the other big branded blades. They ship for free to your front door. The starter set of Harry's is an amazing deal. For just $15, you get a razor, moisturizing shave cream, and 3 razor blades. And comparable to that, I mean, $32 for an 8-pack of blades.
Oh, it's crazy.
If somewhere else, yeah.
I would totally use Harry's.
Absolutely. And it's a quality handle. It's a quality blade. They actually
gorgeous.
own their own German factory where they make the blades and stuff. It's high quality, low cost. I don't get it. They're just cutting out the middleman. Love it. I love supporting people who disrupt industries. There's also a satisfaction guarantee. On average, an everyday shaver would save $150 a year by switching to Harry's. So it's a no-brainer. Right now, you can go to harrys.com, and Harry's will give you $5 off your first order when you type in coupon code RELEVANT. That's HARRYS.com. You put in coupon code RELEVANT for $5 off. Experience a clean, close, comfortable shave with Harry's. Well, we know that this past week, a powerful 7.8 magnitude earthquake devastated the country of Nepal. Mm-hmm. It struck between the 2 largest cities, Pokhara and Kathmandu, and was massive. It's the worst earthquake in more than 80 years. More than 4,000 people have been killed, confirmed, and the numbers rising.
That's crazy.
And, I mean, ancient buildings are just rubble. and it's a crisis. And Charity Water has been there in Nepal for the last 5 years, working with a couple of local partners. They've done hundreds of clean water projects in the country. And after hearing about the quake, they are doing something unprecedented. They are doing relief efforts for the people of Nepal, which 100% of the funds raised by Charity Water right now are going to go to the most urgent needs: water, food, shelter, sanitation, hygiene, and emergency care for the injured. And then down the road, support will help the country rebuild. Because of this unprecedented act, and because we're such fans of Charity Water, and there's other orgs doing amazing work there too. World Vision's doing relief work. A ton of them are. We wanted to ask Scott Harrison to join us, and also joining us today is Christoph Gorder, the Chief Global Water Officer at Charity Water. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks for having us on, guys.
Thanks.
So you guys are there. You're front lines. This hits very close to home for you. What are you seeing in Nepal? What are you hearing? What's the situation like?
Yeah, Christoph, I'll let you start.
So this is, like you said, it's just a terrible tragedy. It's affecting 8 million people there. There are thousands and thousands of wounded. The situation on the ground is really chaotic. It's going to take them years to recover. Right now, the priority is search and rescue and, caring for the injured and providing the basic survival needs for, hundreds of thousands of people who desperately need our help. We're ramping up operations as quickly as we can, and every day we're making a lot of progress, but it is going to be a long road. People have been sleeping outside across the region because they're afraid of aftershocks, and you can just imagine the terror and sadness that the whole country is going through, and we are going through with them.
This is a huge or different type of undertaking for Charity Water, building wells and hundreds of clean water projects, but now you're doing relief work. This is uncharted territory. How are you guys doing it? Like, what is it that you're having to put in place to help with these other needs?
Yeah, one of the cool things was we had, for years I'd actually said, hey, look, a couple of things we don't do. We don't work in conflict zones. We're just too new of an organization. We're not sneaking into any countries where governments don't want assistance. And I used to say, and 3, we don't do anything in the relief space. A couple of years ago, we started to just realize that water and sanitation are two of the most important things. We saw that through the Haiti earthquake. Charity Water actually waited a couple months until kind of the relief cycle was over when it came to Haiti. And then we raised money only for more sustainable work in the areas where people were going back home to. So people were leaving at that time Port-au-Prince, back to the Central Plateau, back to the island of La Gonâve where we were working. And we stayed completely out of the relief efforts. But I think we just, after that, we started talking about it internally and said, look, if there's an opportunity, where it's in a country where we have great local partners, where we've been working, we think that our kind of unique 100% model would be able to get a lot of people who maybe aren't giving to some of these other organizations, to give $5, $10, $20 and play a part in this. And again, because we know that 100% of the money can go directly to, these relief efforts, we'll have a great opportunity to actually tell them where their money went and what kind of impact it had. And it's going to look a little different than, a photo and a GPS picture of a well, but we could still apply our values of transparency, to this and still try and get, a bunch of small donations and a bunch of people, to care about this and connect them to, the work that's being done on the ground. So, it happened over the weekend. I was actually in the Bahamas speaking at a conference, and I was with Vic, and her team was kind of all over on a Saturday, and this is kind of a random story, but a bunch of the creatives were at a hot sauce festival, which I'm like, well, that must have been tough to leave, guys. But they, everybody kind of sprung into motion, and there was an internal base camp thread with about 51 people on it, and we were able to really mobilize very quickly. Christoph, we've been very fortunate, has 16 years of disaster response in his previous roles. Has responded to a lot of the earthquakes in Iran before was active in Haiti. So we really just had the pieces and said, let's give our community a way to give, where 100% of their money will go to these efforts. And let's figure out how to really connect them and tell them that their money is really making a difference. So it's been really amazing just to see the outpouring of support come in just in the last couple of days.
Watching the story unfold on the news, you just continue to be struck by the severity of it, and where do you even start to help? So, what are you all doing? Where is 100% of this money going, and what are the immediate needs that are being met, and what does it look like, a month, 2 months, years down the road?
Yeah, I'm going to kick to Christophe. I think just kind of understanding how the cycle of activity works in these disasters, is probably a good way to even start.
So right away on Saturday when this happened, we saw it happen on the news. Right away, we reached out to our local partners on the ground. Like Scott said, we've worked with them for 5 years. We know them. We're there several times a year. And our programs team was actually, our programs team from headquarters was actually in India. So they were very, very close. Our local partners have 200 staff, more than 200 staff among them. And, the first priority for them was, how are their families and how's their staff doing? So they spent the first couple days, figuring out doing the assessment of
headcount.
Yeah, how's everybody doing? The good news is they didn't lose anybody, so we're so pleased about that. Of course, they are deeply affected by this, and it's difficult for them to swing into action. So what we're doing right now is the partner staff are fanning out across all the areas that they're covering, doing the rapid assessment of what the damage is at the water points that we've supported and in the villages that have been affected. Everybody gets back together tomorrow, and we start to implement the plan for providing water in those areas. Secondly, we work with with some of the large emergency response organizations that fly in from overseas. And so there we've committed a significant amount of funding to immediate water provision, which usually happens through water trucking, water purification tablets, and distribution of buckets and hygiene kits and basic needs for the people. So that is getting ramped up now as the international specialists have started to arrive in Kathmandu over the course of the last 48 hours. So I think you really want to take the long view on this. The international effort is growing exponentially every day in its operational capacity, and it'll really start to hit its stride over the course of the next couple days. So we're moving really fast, and there's a lot of work to be done, and we're going to be there for months, if not years, helping these people get back up on their feet.
I actually had the opportunity a few years ago with my church to visit Nepal, and it seems like a lot of the areas there are a lot of just really remote and difficult to reach areas. Are there particular challenges with a relief effort in an area like this compared to some others? And what's the best way that you guys have seen to tackle some of those, especially geographic challenges for a country like Nepal?
By definition, something this big just completely overwhelms the system's ability to respond. So you think about Hurricane Katrina or Sandy here in New York, even in a developed country, it becomes really difficult to access all the areas. So in Nepal, like you said, it's particularly difficult. The landslides have wiped out a lot of roads. The communications networks are really severely damaged. So right now, to get to these remote villages, people are hiking in because there are a few helicopters in Nepal, but there really aren't that many. The Nepalese military only has one large helicopter that they can actually ferry a significant amount of goods on. So they're hiking into these communities and literally carrying in food and drinking water, and they're carrying the victims out across treacherous mountains. It's a very, very difficult situation.
Wow. I think it's interesting that you mentioned the 100% model maybe attracting donations, because I just remember after Haiti, there's a lot of great organizations doing great work, and they're great stewards of their resources. But I remember there was some benefit concerts and things where it's just like the funds didn't necessarily quite go where donors who texted money in thought it was going. And I think it's interesting that you're applying your kind of transparency model to relief work. Is this maybe a new direction for Charity Water, or is this kind of a one and done? What are you envisioning?
Just on the 100% model, I think, what is, slightly bothered us sometimes is seeing, the appeals, and in the fine print, often it'll say, hey, by the way, we can use this money wherever we want, and people are giving to respond to a disaster. And I think a lot of organizations might really try to, intentionally overraise and kind of, fill the coffers. And I think, that's something that a lot of young people really, they want better. They want something different. I remember years ago, Doctors Without Borders, Médecins Sans Frontières, made headlines when they actually offered people money back. They said, we have overraised our ability to spend in this disaster, and we're going to give you the money back. And of course, 99% of the people said, keep the money. Thank you so much for just being straight with us.
Yeah.
We'd love to support your work. We're happy to support a future disaster. Thank you for telling us and just being transparent. So at the end of the day, that's really the value that we believe. I think, it's a water truck, purification tablets, latrines, in a sort of temporary situation is very different than a sustainable well that we hope to last, for decades. But as long as people know where their money is going, I think they're really open to helping. And a bunch of different value propositions.
I think we're pretty close to done. I wanted to thank you for your support of the Relevant podcast efforts over the past few months without getting deep into it.
Nickelback, yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, we can say the word. Yes, you all were very kind.
No, they're very kind to tolerate our efforts over the last few months.
You're very tolerant.
I guess thanks for taking our call just now. I think is probably where we.
Hey, you know what? You guys helped raise an incredible amount of awareness through that campaign, and most importantly, helped over 1,000 people, get access to clean water. So I just got back from Ethiopia last week. I'm constantly just reminded how much that really means. I got to see some charity water wells that were 7 years old.
Wow.
The organization's only 8 now, so that was kind of exciting. And I went to 4 villages that had been funded 7 years ago, and it was cool to stand around and look at the kids, and realize they had never known dirty water. The parents were taking us to the swamps and the dirty sources that they obviously remembered more than 7 years. But, you had 5 and 6 year old kids. The only thing they knew in their entire life was clean water. So, the Relevant podcast, Jesse, your efforts, have made that possible for another 1,000 kids. So
That's incredible.
Well played.
Really quite profound.
That was really a good response.
Well, is there a specific URL where people can see what you're doing in Nepal and get involved?
Yeah, just really charitywater.org for the next week. It'll be on our homepage, and we're continuing to post information. We're about to post a blog in the next half hour with some more details, more about the partners, more about the response, and we really look at. I think we've had about 5,200 people make contributions, and we're really looking for ways to connect that community with what their money's going to make happen in Nepal. So we'll do our best to be transparent and hopefully make people feel really good about the sacrifice they've made.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us today.
Cool, guys. Thanks for having us on.
Thanks.
You're listening to Hillsong United. See a little conceptual tie-in there. The song is Prince of Peace. It's from their upcoming new album,
I don't get it.
Empires. Hillsong United is on the cover of the brand new issue of Relevant, which we are about to talk about.
Your creativity knows no ends.
Joining us from Nashville, the managing editor for this issue of Relevant, Tyler Huckabee, is joining us.
God bless him.
Hey, guys.
Hey, buddy.
And we have some news. Tyler, this is joining us for this issue because obviously, like I just said, he was the managing editor of it. But now he has shifted it to a new role. He's doing some new things, and he's a contributing editor to Relevant moving forward. Hopefully still be able to join us on the show from time to time. And he'll still be writing for us and stuff. So it'll be like he never left. But he is no longer in the managing editor role. And
Still the same guy.
Still the same guy.
Here's my primary.
The same lovable Tyler.
So the new issue of Relevant is out now. It releases May 1st today officially. It's been shipping to subscribers and hitting newsstands. So we want to give you a little kind of behind the scenes of how it came together and why we did what we did. It's a fun issue. Print is different than digital. Digital of the moment, you can change it. You post something on Facebook, you don't like it, you can edit it. You can pull it down when you have regrets later. Digital world,
right.
Print is permanent. Right?
Don't even say that.
So, well, it is.
It makes me nervous.
And so the best laid plans, Hillsong United is releasing a new album called Empires. They also have had a big budget Hollywood documentary made following them around, also releasing nationally, big theater release, isn't a little Christian movie. And so we thought the two of them happening together, coming out in late May, this is amazing. This is kind of unprecedented from kind of somebody from our world, kind of like breaking through like that.
Outside of Left Behind, but
yeah, we need to get them. I said our world. We need to get them on the cover and like talk about this. This is like a new era for the band, and so we did, and sent the issue to the printer. Which we'll talk about the article in a second, but sent the issue to the printer. The next day, the issue's gone. The next day, it's announced the movie's been delayed and is coming out in the fall.
No way.
So our May issue features a band whose movie is coming out in the fall. But at least the album's coming out in May, so that's good.
That's kind
Isn't that funny? But it's like one of those things like, seriously?
He's coming out.
Yeah, at least it's coming out.
Yeah.
We're priming the pump. And so when the trailers start hitting more in August and September, and your friends are like, oh, what's that all about? Guess what, readers? You'll know. You'll know what it's all about.
You're ahead of the game.
We're just way ahead of the curve.
2 steps ahead of Hollywood, like usual.
Relevant readers are the hipster readers because they found out about stuff before it was cool.
Anything, we're just too relevant this time around.
Too relevant. Tyler, you wrote the cover story, did you not?
Yeah, I did. And I talked to a few people in Hillsong United. Joel Houston, of course, the band leader of Hillsong, who we've talked to a couple of times. Taya Smith, who I'd never talked to before, but people probably know her because she's the voice who sang Oceans, which was their song that blew up and I think changed the worship game for 2014 and beyond. But probably, I mean, the conversation that interests me the most, or the reason that I would go to this, go to the story, is because we talked to Michael John Warren, who is the director of this movie. He also directed Fade to Black, which was a Jay-Z documentary. He's done documentaries on Nicki Minaj. He did one on Chris Brown, which, I mean, we know my friends on Chris Brown, but still a documentary is impressive one way or the other. He was approached about doing this movie, the Hillsong movie, and he was not familiar with Hillsong. He is not a Christian. He doesn't go to church. He went to Hillsong Church in New York City to go see the band play one time. And evidently, just like that, he was so blown away by the performance of the band. He was so moved by what they had to say that he knew what he told me is he said, I knew the story right away as soon as I saw it. Wow. And that got him pumped about making a movie like the Hillsong United movie, which will be coming out in the fall. His conversation, his thoughts on the movie and on Hillsong United as a band, especially as somebody who was not a Christian, were super interesting and make me way more excited to see the movie.
Yeah, I agree. Another unexpected piece in this one is we interview comedian and podcaster Mark Maron, who is an atheist and kind of harsh, but has become known for these unbelievable podcast conversations where he gets people to open up about things that are just jaw-dropping.
I have listened,
including faith.
Yeah. I've listened to every one of his podcasts for probably 3 years, and he is one of my favorite interviewers because he is just so just brutally honest in a way that is disarming to people. He will just ask them. People will actually say things to him like, "Yeah, but that was because my dad." And he's like, "We'll get to that," and then he just keeps walking through the story, and it's phenomenal what he's able to do. It was cool.
And I think the cool thing about the story is, he brings that honesty and transparency. I was talking with a guy Eric, who wrote the piece, and he had him over the house and in the garage where they record the podcast, and he was showing him books about religion that he's read and that he's enjoyed, and he's not one of these guys who is an atheist in that he's anti-God. It's just he doesn't know where he lands, and he is totally open. His thoughts about the church and how he thinks the idea of a mega church is super appealing. It's just he's just very honest about his own issues with the ability to believe in God, but not anything against God or religion. It's a really fascinating story. One of my favorites that we've done in a long time.
Honestly, one of my favorite interviews we've had in the magazine in a long time. It's really good.
So there's also we talked to Judah Smith, who's a pastor who's kind of known as becoming kind of Hollywood's pastor. Bieber and Selena Gomez and other young celebrities are being led by him. He has he's a pastor of City Church up in Seattle, but he started a Bible study in Beverly Hills a few years ago that's just continued to like attract influencers from Hollywood, and it has grown and grown and grown. And it's really interesting to see kind of the impact that Judah, Rich Wickerson Jr., Carl Lentz, these guys have had. I like to call them, the heist gang, and they're just taking the devil's territory is what they're doing.
Taking the devil's territory.
Anyway. So we talked to Judah and get to find out more about him.
Coming movie.
Let's see. We have a great think piece, The Science of Life, kind of talking about bioethics and faith and asking the big question of almost like what is life in this world where we can, artificially create life or enhance life or extend life. Kind of talking about the bioethics from a Christian worldview is something that this isn't happening on the horizon. I mean, this is something that we have to grapple with yesterday, and the church really isn't talking about it.
Yeah, that one I got to be able to speak to some of these Christian bioethicists who've really thought hard about some of the issues that the church is going to have to deal with, within the next few years. How far there's this dilemma of, as Christians, the gospel tells us to care for the sick, but how far do we take that when we are actually playing God ourselves with some of these technological advancements that allow for things that sound almost like the stuff of sci-fi? So it's really interesting to hear their perspective and look at, how far is too far? Where are we playing God, and what are the issues that the church is going to have to deal with very, very soon?
Yeah. We have a couple of fun things. Rob Fee wrote the Summer Mission Guide. It's like tips, 10 tips when you're going on your summer mission trip.
He sent over 30 initially, so we might need to do an expanded. He was ready to go on this one.
We're going to be running it in 3 segments for the next 3 issues.
That's really fun.
We also we have a new author in the magazine who wrote about we called it the initiation game, but basically, why is it so awkward to ask someone out in church? Why is dating so weird in church? Mr. Eddie Koffoltz
and Joe Saxton, who I love. You introduced me.
Joe's the best.
Yeah. How do you know her? Because you introduced me to her.
I went to the IF gathering in Austin, a women's conference, and I was having dinner with a table of nice ladies, all the speakers. And
Holla!
It was literally me and 12 of the speakers and people. I was sitting next to Shauna because she was about the only person I knew, and Shauna's mom, Lynn Hybels, and I was in that corner. And then directly across from me was Joe Sexton. She introduced herself. And she had read an article we did or she had read Eddie's article. He wrote a Ask Relevant about dating in the church, and he wrote to guys.
Yeah.
And she had read it and said, I thought that writer had amazing things to say. I would love to have a similar type of thing talking to the girls about why is it so weird to date in church and stuff like that. And I thought, man, absolutely, we need to do this. And so we were planning the issue, and this idea came up, and I mentioned it to Eddie, and he connected with Joe, and they wrote it together.
Yeah. So here's what was really fun was, because I never met her, and to write with someone is are our voices going to match up? How are we going to actually do this? And so I called her, and about 10 seconds into the phone call, we are just riffing on dating and Christian culture and the whole thing. And we're going to be friends and just loving it. And we just were like, okay, cool. We'll just write it together. And then we just hung up the phone, wrote it. And she is really funny and smart. She's just a great pastor too. She's a great thinker. I loved her writing on this.
Yeah. The piece is it's fun. It's a fun topic, but it's a real topic too. I mean, there's nothing more awkward than being single in church. So
no, I thought it was really,
it's a topic that we see breakout all the time on the website in various capacities. There's a real felt need there. People want to dig into that.
And Eddie and Joe do.
Yeah.
It's some really practical, good stuff.
I got it.
The culture coverage. They fix dating and singleness in the
got
church.
it.
Yeah, all done.
Done.
Next topic.
Your work here is done.
We have some great culture coverage. The War on Drugs, phenomenal band. Had one of the best albums of the year last year. Did we name it our best album?
We named it our best album of 2014.
Yeah.
And I stand by that. It's a really good album. They're a really good band. Great conversation with the guy. I think that was it's what I've been looking forward to write for a long time because I love that band so much, and I think it delivered.
Yeah,
if I do say so myself.
And a new Ivan and Alyosha, which their album's coming out next week. Phenomenal. We've been playing some of the songs over the last couple of weeks on the podcast. Phenomenal album. We feature with them as well. Sandra McCracken who was on the podcast just a few weeks ago. She's in the magazine. Derek Minor, a rapper. Will Butler's in the mag. The leads about his new album, the lead singer of Arcade Fire. Echo Smith, the Cool Kids song, is in a lot of good culture coverage. It's a good issue. In Maker, our section for influencers and leaders, we talk about the kind of a new model of just business, businesses, for-profit businesses that are building into their model, kind of like justice efforts and giving back, which is very cool. We talk about everything, wearable tech, and think about this and like how our lives are changing. We spotlight 4 churches that are changing everything, that are being innovative and thinking out of the box in their areas, and they're kind of rethinking the model of modern church. Reject Apathy, we make a non-religious case against pornography, which is interesting because I think it's easy for Christians to just go, well, morally it's wrong. But we look at it from a different perspective and make a non-religious case against pornography. We talk about ISIS.
Blew my mind. Some of the research in there, some of the things that I read when I was doing the research for that case, I was not prepared for how much research, how many studies have been done by non-religious, non-faith-based institutions very strongly condemning the effects of pornography on both people who watch it and people who participate in it. The actors and filmmakers and things like that. It's a really interesting. I was surprised at how fascinating it was once I started getting into that one.
Yeah, even outside any sort of moral agenda, it's just a very bad thing.
Yeah,
very bad thing. We spotlight the best summer TV shows coming out. There's a whole lot of stuff. Whatever you're interested in, there's something for you in the new issue of Relevant. If you want to get it, you can subscribe now. It's only $1 a month. It's available on newsstands nationwide. Most Barnes and Nobles have it. Some airports, some different, I don't know. Just look for it. And if they don't have it, ask. And they'll get it.
Yeah.
If you want to subscribe, it's $1 a month. Subscribers get access to the iPad edition and the Android tablet edition as well, and instant access to all the magazine content on the website, going back to year 1, like 11 years of content. Some of that early stuff was really bad.
No way. You got to read up about Mace. What's going on?
I remember when DMX found God and it was the lead slice, and then like a year and a half later he was in jail again and like totally was not. He didn't find God. We're like, Prince is permanent. That's stupid. Print. We stopped covering celebrity conversions for DMX because of DMX and Mace, honestly. So
we've got some cool updates in the tablet edition this time too.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we're trying to make it a lot more easy to share.
Yep.
A lot. One of the features that I thought was really neat that we added is any pull quote that you see in the entire issue. If you just click on it, you can tweet it.
Yep. Yeah, it's really cool. JD is our head digital designer. So with him coming in, he's not just pressing the buttons doing the podcast. With him coming in, it was like, let's rethink the model here. And we have some big rethinks that are brewing about the iPad experience. But you don't want to mess with something that's working either, because the iPad edition is probably the best thing we do. So it's
tweaking.
Tread lightly. We're evolving it.
Including the podcast, or you feel like that's still the...
I'm going to go with the iPad edition. It's a little better than the podcast.
It's far, far better.
Well, like exponentially
Well, I refuse
better.
to be involved in the podcast anymore.
Get it now. I think you'll like the issue, and we'd appreciate the support. So, hey, Tyler, thanks for joining us from Nashville.
Rest in peace,
Thanks,
buddy.
always good to see you guys.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, you too, man.
All right.
Nice plunging
Thanks,
V.
everybody.
Stay tuned. Up next, feedback.
It's my ghost, empty vessel, crooked teeth. Wish you could see and like hold me under.
You're listening to Of Monsters and Men. The song is Eye of the Storm, but it's the letter I.
Oh, I get it. It's like ironic.
Yeah. Eye of the Storm.
Oh, like I am of the storm.
Yeah.
Something.
There's a new album coming out, Beneath the Skin. Okay, it's time for your feedback. So last week, no corrections or apologies. No.
Yeah, I'm not correcting or apologizing.
None.
Keep moving on.
All right, keep moving on.
That's mistake number 2, Eddie. But
I know.
Last week, we got talking about emoji usage. We got talking about the new emoji packs that came out, and we, there's pros and cons to it. There's some good improvements, but there's a lot of stuff still missing. So we asked you what emojis need to be added in the next update to the emoji keyboard. And you guys went over to the podcast episode page at relevantmagazine.com and posted there. You also hit us up on Twitter at Relevant Podcast. Some really good suggestions here. Here's a few of our favorites.
yeah, well, someone on the Relevant Podcast page said, only listen to the beginning of the show, but shofar, so good. 1, I like the pun.
A great joke.
Yeah, it's good.
2,
good stuff.
I think if they were implying that the shofar should be an emoji, they are absolutely correct. You could text that to people when you're feeling very victorious spiritually. Chris says that they should have an emoji of a very large person riding a tiny bike trying to convey that something is most likely impossible. I guess you would need Niagara Falls to be in there.
Funny.
A bunch of people said that we needed a shofar emoji.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And somebody, and I apologize, I just remember reading it, but I don't know who did it. But it was a screenshot. But they just did a bunch of the little trumpets. They were using trumpet as shofar.
Yeah, it's not bad.
So for the Relevant Podcast family, from now on, until they make a shofar, we will just use trumpet together.
Yeah. Okay.
This person said. It says that the person's name is Daniel Lewis. I'm assuming it's actor Daniel Day-Lewis.
Gotta be. He loves the show.
Yeah, big fan.
He
said a Union Jack hat for supporting stopping deforestation. A monkey with a spear. You should use that for a lot of things, but it's updates about the Chimpocalypse. And Toby Mac, a way to snub someone. And finally, Joel Osteen to let someone know that you're having your best life now.
Brian Olson wrote in to tweet us, and his are actually legit. Every one of these, I'm going, yeah, absolutely. Fingers crossed. I mean, come on.
Oh, yeah. Great one.
Yeah. Any kind of dinosaur.
Please.
That's a great point. Any kind of dinosaur.
Any kind of dinosaur.
Doesn't even matter what kind.
Taco, he says.
Yeah.
Last night, Taco Tuesdays, I was trying to invite a friend. And, I did 7 o'clock and I didn't have a taco. So, no friend.
Taco is curiously absent from the emoji selection.
And then this is the main one. And I run into this issue every day. Eye rolling face. There's no eye rolling face.
Well, I have figured out a double emoji for eye rolling.
Okay.
Eyes looking to the left and then the face looking straight at you. It kind of works. I'll send it.
It's almost like animated.
Yeah.
You got to flip the page.
That's the thing with emojis. I feel like you got to animate them in your mind a little bit and kind of move through them. I'll send it to you right now. It really
sometimes I do the straight face with the eyes open and then the eyes closed and then the eyes open. Like you're doing the bink, bink.
Blinking. Oh, okay. So you're like, what did you just say?
Yeah,
kind of like that.
Like the cartoon.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. I just wish there was an eye rolling face.
Michael said we need one of Tom Haverford's grin. The half surprised, spontaneous, full of joy grin of his.
Somebody said that it was Melanie said the usage of Snake Dragon has gone up 1,005% since Friday. I have a lot of Snake Dragons.
Michael also said definitely a flying fox, and that would communicate sheer unadulterated terror.
Well, I think that's kind of what they're going for with the Snake Dragon, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, I feel like a flying fox would be more clear.
Well, there's a lot more. If you guys want to chime in, the other thing I enjoyed that was happening on the Twitter feed was a lot of people were screenshotting their most used emojis.
I love that.
And we have some weird listeners is basically what it showed me. But I enjoyed it. Okay, before we move on to this week's question of the week, Jesse, I meant to do this at the beginning of the segment. There's a Joe the Neighbor update. We need to know what's going on. For listeners who don't know, Joe the Neighbor is Jesse's neighbor a few doors down, and has had a number of interesting encounters with him over the years. But this last couple months, some strange things have been happening. There's a large hole in the front yard. Joe doesn't seem like he wants the hole there or he's happy with it. And then a large crate of bananas showed up. And so a few weeks ago, we were pontificating about our theories about what that could be. You have actually spoken to Joe.
I have. I ran into him a couple times recently, and the hole is in fact filled in.
Whoa.
Yeah, the hole is gone.
What did he put in that he buried?
Well, this is what he says, but some things about the story don't add up, but I just decided to stop pressing it. He claims an underground pipe had broken under his house 3 years ago, and it has only come to his realization when the city has come after him for astronomical water bills. So he decided to do some digging, quite literally.
No
and
way.
what he claims is after 3 days of hard digging, he was able to find the pipe and repair it himself. Hence the broken shovels, hence why I drove by his house one day and he was so distressed looking at the pole into the hole is because he had just stumbled upon the broken pipe.
Shut your mouth.
So that's what he says.
Now, doesn't he know that somebody from the city would have done this? Like, even if
He's
it's
not the type of guy that's going to go call in city officials to come on his property.
No,
you know what I mean?
I do. A sweet guy, though. Golly.
So what's up with the bananas?
Well, here's the thing. After that conversation, he got pretty impassioned. I kind of felt like the bananas were just something I needed to drop.
Right, like maybe that's going to go too far.
Yeah, it was like, he was very upset about the whole thing. There was, like I said, it cost him a lot of money, evidently, because the pipe had been leaking for 3 years.
3 years?
That's what he said.
What in the world?
And sometimes you ever just figure there's questions that it's just better not to know the answer to.
Golly.
That's kind of where I left that one. But he's doing well. The hole's filled in. The bananas are, in fact, now gone.
What a nut.
Things seem to be back to normal, at least for now.
That's good. Still, one day we need an answer on the banana crate. I'm just saying.
I might reach it soon. I've seen them out in the yard since then.
The bananas are actually a little more mysterious to me than the hole for some reason.
Yeah, because one family can't eat that many bananas before they go bad.
The hole we had a couple theories on. The bananas, I literally have nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no...
Unless he has a monkey inside, honestly. Unless he's somehow co-opted a monkey.
I guess.
Or at least temporarily. At least if he was like temporarily.
He was rehabbing a monkey. Yeah.
Which wouldn't shock me one bit.
And that's why he couldn't call the city to come out about the water, because he was rehabbing a monkey.
Right.
He has an illegal primate.
Yeah.
Yeah, you let him in, and all of a sudden they see the unseeable. And then you can't unsee what they just saw.
All right, well, it's that time for this week's
editorial question of the week. Hey.
Well, earlier we got talking about food. Tots.
And I feel like we really let Shauna into a dark world that exists.
I don't know if that'll make the video extract real or not, but Shauna sat there listening to us talk about what we eat when nobody's looking with her head in her hands, like pulling on her own hair. Like, I cannot fathom this, what I'm hearing.
And
what do you guys mean when no one's looking?
Well, like, you don't have a wife, preparing a meal for you.
It's not about shame. It's just about convenience.
No. It's about convenience. It's about, exactly. It's the days before you registered for plates. And then the days after when you just don't really care that you registered for plates.
Where your plate is now a torn up pizza box.
Right.
So we want to know from you, what's the weirdest meal that you make for yourself that you've maybe started doing in college, maybe you grew up on it, maybe you just do it. The weirdest thing you make for yourself regularly, kind of when you're just on your own for a quick meal, quick bite at the house.
Yeah.
What's the weirdest thing you kind of like? What's your go-to?
Yeah.
My go-to is the rolled up bologna. I roll up the bologna if I'm just a little hungry. It takes the edge off, and and later in the evening I'll snack on maybe some carrots and hummus or something like that, or a pickle.
Yeah,
and I'll round out the meal. But it's just kind of a roving meal that starts standing at the counter with the bologna slices. This is literally 3 to 5 times a week for me.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, when Bree's gone, mine is cereal and apples because apple doesn't need a plate, and the cereal. Well, I can just use the same bowl over and over again.
Cameron, sometimes I'll roll deli meat around a mozzarella stick.
Oh,
and that's
will.
like an entire meal.
Of
and
course.
then sometimes it's just half a jar of olives.
Oh, so good.
Olives.
Like green or brown, like calamari?
No, the green pimentos in the middle.
Yeah.
I started. And my intention usually is to eat a couple.
Yeah.
And then, 5 minutes later, half the jar's gone.
That's one, like almonds. Like we were talking about things that sneak up on you.
Yeah.
Like I'll just eat a bunch of almonds, and you're like, "Whoa!"
It's good. It's good fat, but it's packed with calories.
That's all of next week's calories.
Yeah.
I just ate while watching Godfather.
Yeah.
I don't even know the nutritional value of olives. I just know I like the way they taste.
I've never had an olive. I have no idea what it tastes like.
You're really missing out.
You really
Olives
They're
are great.
delicious.
That's interesting. You've never had an olive like on a thing? Mm-mm. There are some that are not good, I think, but the good salty olives.
Yeah, that's the ones. The green salty ones. I can eat the whole
I didn't even
jar.
know they were salty.
Ooh, green olives and pepperoni on a pizza. Oh. It's the best.
They're like an oval of salt.
It is exactly an oval of salt.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Well, so we want to know what's the weird go-to meal that you make for yourself when you're on your own, when you're fending for yourself. You can post your answers on the podcast episode page at relevantmagazine.com. You can also tweet us at Relevant Podcast, and we'll read our favorites next week. Many thanks to Scott Harrison and Christoph Gorder for talking to us. If you want to get involved with what they're doing to relief efforts in Nepal, go over to charitywater.org and follow there. 100% of what you donate goes to the field. Also, the new issue of Relevant is out now. You should get it. If you subscribe now, you'll get it in time for the Hillsong United issue to hit your mailbox. And obviously, when you subscribe, you get instant digital access to the iPad editions, the Android edition, the website, premium content as well. It's only $1 a month right now, a special offer. So if you go over to relevantmagazine.com, you can subscribe today and get the new issue of Relevant. It's a really good article on Hillsong. Yeah, it's really cool.
Cool magazine. So good.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Eddie.
I like it.
Hey, you can read Eddie's article.
All right. You don't have to talk
He
about
likes
it.
this issue.
I'm a very big deal, everyone. Comment on that.
Make sure to check out video extracts from this episode and previous ones. We finally got back in the swing with the video extracts. You can check out our YouTube channel at youtube.com/relevant. And thanks to our sponsors, Stamps.com and Harry's. Remember, Stamps.com, when you click the microphone, put in promo code RELEVANT for their $110 bonus offer. And Harry's, you can use promo code RELEVANT to get $5 off your first order.
Disrupting the shaving industry. One beautifully smooth face at a time.
That should be their new slogan.
Really should.
Pitch him, Eddie.
Yeah.
On that note, we'll wrap it up. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Eddie Koffoltz.
John David Snavely.
I'm Jesse Carey.
For Shauna Nyquist. Ooh, guess what?
Ooh,
next
Joy.
week's episode, Joy's back.
Joy to the world.
You won't want to miss it.
Can't wait.
All right. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for listening to the Relevant Podcast. You can follow us on Twitter at Relevant Podcast and get bonus material from this episode at the podcast section at relevantmagazine.com. And don't forget to check out the magazine. It's available on newsstands and at the iTunes App Store, or you can subscribe online at relevantmagazine.com/subscribe.
I'm gonna move out of Alaska with one last heist.